At some point, you're gonna need to flip my face around because I'm always
Hey, it
looking
looks
off
fantastic.
screen.
All right, there we go. My microphone had switched for some reason. You guys want to give me a quick scream test? Make sure everything's working.
Oh,
What do you need to do?
I literally heard nothing. It just cut out the mic, but it still worked.
oh.
All right, welcome everybody to Descent into Avernus, our Baldur's Gate campaign. In case you guys want to know a little bit this about me or the stream, my name is Kevin. I go by It's a Sublime here on Twitch, and the name of the channel, of course, Tabletop Down. We do everything tabletop related from the top down, hence the clever name. But every Wednesday we play Vampire the Masquerade, and every Friday we play Dungeons and Dragons. So this is one of our 2 live games per week. We've been looking forward to this for days, so hopefully you guys are half as excited as we are. Let's see. So real quick, we're just running, just so you have an idea of how the game works. We are running a standard game of Descent into Avernus, Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, straight out of the book. A couple of little embellishments here to make it better fit our party. But as with all my streams, I try to make them a little bit more interactive, and the way that I do that is I have set up a Ko-Fi shop to where you guys can go buy interactions, like giving the players advantages or potions, extra little special things. I was hoping to get a few more on the list today, but I didn't manage to quite squeeze it in, but by next week we should see double these. That's the hope anyway. So there's going to be a lot of different ways that you guys can interact with the game itself. That's our goal, is to make these streams as interactive and fun as possible. But all right, cool. We got all that out of the way. I'm lost today. I don't know why. My head's not quite with it. But yeah, just jump in, support the stream, watch the channel, and enjoy the game. Let's get through some damn intros. Hunter, if you want to get us started, buddy, you can introduce
Hey.
yourself and your character for us.
How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's had a good week. It's been quite a week in itself. I'm Hunter Rose. I'm the party's bard, and I'm looking forward to a good game tonight.
I can hear that. Let's do that. I want one of those too. Where do I find a good game? Let's see.
I'll
Right.
find it right here.
That's it. I like it. Maxwell, you're up next, man. Go for it.
All right, I'm 50-foot Ann. I'm playing Maxwell, our party's artificer, and I'm here to tinker with everything and touch everything I'm not tinkering with.
Touch all the
Great, stop
things that
touching
you're not
things.
tinkering with.
No,
Yes.
You shall touch all the things.
I'm going to touch even more things now.
Oh no.
I completely believe that he's going to do that. I blame you, Allie. Speaking of which, Allie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself since you're next over in the list there.
I'm Allie. I play Sariel, the cleric. God. And I
Clerk.
kind of pick these idiots up when they do stupid shit. Maxwell is being the perfect example here.
All the stupid shit.
Oh,
That does sound just about right. Awesome. Well, in that case, I think we got to go to the king of stupid shit, Numo. Numo, our resident clown, literally.
Yep.
Stupid.
He's like, wait a minute, what did I do? It's-
I am Numerousness playing Numo the clown. Started off as a clown who would later become a rogue in this campaign with the fall of Montreal.
Montreal.
And is Canada, right?
Yeah, that's where it was.
What did I say? Montreal? I realized that too. I said Montreal.
That's
Ultra.
Ultra. Yeah, that place.
That place.
Numo left there and is now a very clowny rogue.
Awesome. I
That
love it.
barrel rolls naked.
He's
like a pass
yeah,
proficient at the nude barrel roll. He's worked quite
Do you
well
have a
at it.
honky nose?
Do I have what?
Do you have a nose that honks?
Oh, I think I had a horn that honks. The nose, I don't know. I think I use that for storage. That was probably where I was like storing the stuff when I was stealing things naked.
That's where
Like
he
putting 'em
keeps
in the nose.
things. I can definitely see that, right? Use as a small storage container, you know.
Nose of
It's
holding.
definitely better than other places you could be putting it. And speaking of other places you could be putting it, let's go to Vanroll. Hey, I'm on a roll, mate. Look at me go.
Howdy there. I'm Vanril, the party's paladin. Who's let's just say he's not the most pompous paladin you'll meet. He's definitely a bit more on the loose side.
Liar.
Warrior Santa.
The loose paladin. That's a
Yes.
statement right there. That's what I've heard about you.
Yes.
Very loose paladin. All right, guys. Well, in that case, let's do a little bit of recap. I gather. Excuse me. 1 sec. Just choking to death. No, don't mind me. Alright, so last couple of sessions, our party, since the fall of Elturel, has been trying to track down any evidence that they can find that leads them closer to understanding what took place, and maybe see if there's anything that can be done to at least make it right. As far as they're aware, Elturel has fallen, the city is gone, and that's the end of it. But we all know that, there's more to the story, of course. So our players have been investigating the cults of the Dead Three, cultists that have been seemingly attached to this in some way, though they're not exactly sure how, along with a lady named Thalamra Vanthumper. They have been hiding out under one of her bathhouses in a dungeon that our players have recently broken into and been investigating. The other person that they are investigating currently is a man by the name of Thabius Krieg. Thabius Krieg is the High Seer of Elturel, but was seen leaving the city gates just before the city actually fell, the night before the city fell, even though he was expected to attend a meeting during that day. So following those leads, they spoke with a woman by the name of Tarina, which was a contact of one of theirs, through Rhea Mantlemorn, that led them to this bathhouse where they've been investigating the cult of the Dead Three. I think last week we took a little time to rest and recuperate while making our way through the dungeon, but I think this week the party will be ready to pick back up and pick up where we left off. Let's see, you guys had just had a full rest, if I'm not mistaken, correct? So you had just had a totally full rest. You're brand spanking new, all those fun things. And as you're making your way through the... Go ahead.
We did have an encounter as we were making our way through.
That's what I was going to say. As you were making your way through, you had stepped into the next room, which is room 13 here. And just as you entered the door, you saw a woman in a bloody leather apron, standing over a mangled body that seems that she has been cutting to pieces, and, doing some sort of manipulation to, while surrounded on the floor by several skeletal rats. There's a swarm or two of skeletal rats that seem to just be chilling around her feet, watching her do the things that she's doing. I almost forgot. We had a character, Thoradin. Thanks to the chat's interactions with a helpful ally, Thoradin was a archer that showed up to help them. He is a member of the Harpers, and his brother, who had dragged him into the Harpers, had went missing. Not being the best hero, he went with our party and tried to seek aid in looking for his brother down here, but they weren't able to find him. But as they entered this room, they recognized parts of the man on the table as Thoradin's brother. I believe where we entered the room last week, I had made... Let me go ahead and just reread it, actually, if I could. This partially collapsed room has 3 wooden beams bracing its ceiling. Situated between the beam is a scorched wooden table with a human cadaver resting atop it. A frighteningly thin woman in black robes is studying the corpse, her face largely hidden under a cowl. Around her feet creep a swarm of skeletal rats. And that was the part I had read, but just after that, I had mentioned that as Thoradin entered the room, he had more or less said, "Oh God, Baramir," kind of insinuating that this is probably his brother that you were looking for. So that's where we had left off. Oh, actually, one more chat addition is as you entered the room, the woman was also prepared, noticed you coming, and was currently reading the words hastily off of a scroll, which is about to go off in 3, 2, let's roll initiative, shall we?
All right.
Actually, give me 1 second before you roll. That's
well,
my. But if you already
too
rolled,
late.
it's fine. Yep, if you already rolled, it's fine. I just forgot to go ahead and get it started up. But yeah, you guys had just entered the room. She was reading a spell scroll that she plans on blasting you guys with, since she did get a bit of a surprise round. Thoradin is there with you and now angry to see his brother dead at her feet, or in front of her on the table. Let's see. You rolled an 8 there, Allie. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, it's
All right.
beautiful.
Everybody else should be
Oh.
good to go ahead and roll now. You're fine. Go ahead and roll. And it should automatically add you guys to the tracker.
It's the most beautiful number that you'll see today.
4.
It doesn't like Maxwell or Numo. It doesn't like the gnomes. I don't know why.
That's fair.
I always have to enter theirs
Oh, nice.
manually. But that's all right. I got you. 17 and 10.
Seriously, you rolled a 4?
Yep, I
Maxwell,
rolled a 4.
make sure that's hilarious. After all the testing you did on that dice.
Yep.
Right.
Maxwell, if you could make sure to remember to heal your character. It looks to me like they're still suffering damage. I can't swear that. It just looks red on my side, but that could be the art.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, it's got you listed
Oh,
11 of
11 out of
24.
24.
Secretly, they're just bleeding out.
Yeah, that
Well, you
was the
see, I
problem.
swallowed a whole
is-
box of nails.
I was gonna say that was the
That
problem.
sounds like something you would do.
When Thoradin got with you, he definitely wanted to move ahead and try to find his brother, but you guys, having been through a lot of tough troubles already, had decided to take a rest, knowing that those extra hours could be the difference, which is unfortunate and may lead to Thoradin being a bit more upset, but there was only so much they could do, and you were able to convince him that, look, if we go now, we're guaranteed to die. If we wait, yes, your brother might be dead in 12 hours, but we'll survive it, kind of deal. And that's where we left off with it. Let me go ahead and say thank you real quick. Radiro, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you for the follow. Zwigos, thank you for the follow. Cop, thank you for the sound alert. Just try and get through all these. I think Pixel, yeah, that was the raid from last night. Okay, I think we're caught up. Thank you guys. Appreciate all the love, man. That goes so far. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. I hope you really, really like it. Also, check out the Ko-Fi shop. Find all the cool ways that you can interact with the game. Help support the channel and keep us gaming. All right. So anyway,
Make
that's
sure
where we
you
had
see how you
left
can
off.
fuck us over.
Yeah, you guys had just walked into the room. Now, I do want to ask, at what order did you walk in the room? Now, the way the tokens were left last week, it still had... when I first opened this earlier, it still had Alejandro like clearing the other room, so you hadn't moved in yet, and the other characters were positioned roughly like this, I think. So
Yeah,
you tell me as to what order is that the correct order? Because I know at least Vanril walked in first. I do know that part.
Yeah.
'Cause you had mentioned walking
Yeah.
in. Thoradin was right behind you because he saw the incident.
And I'm last.
I would have been in the middle, kind of where I am now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing with Alejandro.
The tank's
right.
always walking in first.
Well, I
Fair
should hope so.
enough.
That's kind of your job.
Yep.
Let's see
my
exactly
new armor.
what this spell does. So as you guys all know, the spell that was rolled last week for what got added to the game was Wither and Bloom. You
Yes.
invoke both death and life in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point within range. Each creature you choose in that area must make a con save or take 2d6 necrotic damage on a failed save, half as much on a success, and non-magical vegetation within the area dies and withers. In addition, one creature that you of your choice could spend an unspent hit die. It doesn't need that right now. So 10-foot radius. That's the big one. Let me see, because I
All right.
think I did something cool here, and I want to see
That's
if it's
a potion
still
and a half.
here. Do I not have it anymore? I had all the spell templates there for a little while. I really thought I had these. That's okay. We'll just do this. Use the hooded lantern light. And that's a 10-foot radius, so that's going to be 20 by 20 on all sides. So she is going to drop this essentially right on top of Thoradin. So that is going to get... Brighten this up a little bit so you guys can see it. I don't know if that helps any at all. Anyway, that's going to get Thoradin, Vanril, the Steel Defender, let's see, Maxwell, and Numo by the looks of it.
Ooh.
Ah,
It's going to hit a fair
Yes,
few of you
so-
guys. That's for
Oof.
sure.
Well, what's the damage type again?
Let me see.
Oh.
It is necrotic damage. Yes. Yeah, necrotic damage.
Weirdly enough, Robopup does not have any immunity to that.
There we go. There's the actual.
but he
circle.
doesn't have flesh.
I know, like he's a construct. It's
Rust.
like I apply
It's
flesh
just
rot,
rust.
and then
For our
He
starts
audience,
to
made it
rust.
partially with real puppy.
Oh my
Right.
god! Did you kill a real puppy for that?
no,
You-
he's made
you
out of
guys out there in the audience,
silverware.
let's
and
switch to
tape.
the map. There we go.
If you
Let's
kill a real puppy for that, I
switch
have
real
to
quick tonight.
deal with you out of principle.
No, these are false allegations.
False allegations. All right, so this is where we're at. All you guys have made your saves, I presume.
Saves.
Yeah, sorry. It's gonna be a Constitution saving throw. I apologize.
Constitution. saving throw.
So yeah, let me double check here.
All right.
Wither and Bloom
I'm
requires a Constitution saving throw versus 2d6 necrotic damage.
There we go.
And for
These.
this
I knew these dice were
specific
gonna roll a bit better.
character,
Nice.
Guess who gets away with it?
the actual save DC that you need to beat, I'll just tell you, is 14. So, Maxwell, you fell short. Numo, you have passed. Vanril has passed, and our archer character needs to pass or roll as well.
Man, I would not say we were off to a good start here.
Oh, you're
No.
off to a wonderful start.
I gotta find him now. I changed everybody's tokens around. I thought it was a little weird that all of our tokens were the exact same. You know, we just had 15 Steve cultists, so I tried to fix
Yeah.
those today.
Steven, Stevie.
All right, so it looks like what
Stefan.
have I done there?
Steve-O.
He has failed as well, so he's also going to take 2d6 damage. So let's go ahead and roll up 2d6. Oh, you guys got real lucky on these by the looks of it. Oh, no, wait, I rolled twice, sorry. Still, though, a 5 and a 1. A 5 and a 1 isn't that bad, so everybody suffers 6 points of necrotic damage. As she reads the scroll aloud, and you see it catch fire and incinerate, actually, it's a sickening, like, green flame that rolls up over the thing, and just kind of burns to ash in her hands. It almost, like, you can see parts of the ink where it heats, drip to the floor, and splash like acid as it sizzles on the concrete. You know what I mean? From where it's the remainder of the scroll. And all of the moss that's growing on the walls next to you, you can hear it drying and cracking as it just begins to fall and crumble like ash off the walls. And each of you in that radius takes 2d6 damage. You know what? Taking a look at this thing now. No, I don't. I think Alejandro would be just out of the radius because I made it a little bit bigger than what it was. I was just about to say, but it's centered on this guy, so. Yeah, anyway, so those of you that failed, including our archer guy here, took 2d6 or 6 necrotic damage.
So wait, if you pass, is it half damage or is it full damage? Or,
Yeah.
Correct.
It's
Yeah,
half.
if you pass
So-
if you pass, it's half damage. So you either took 6 damage or 3.
And
That
with
was
does
not
my
that bad.
resistance also half the damage I do take, or is that with this roll as well?
That would be correct. So if you have resistance, you would reduce it to 2. You always
Okay.
round up or whatever. So yeah, it would reduce it all the way down to 2. But she definitely got her
damn.
free round in here. Like I said, it may not have been much damage, but she got to hit a lot of you for it. At this point,
Yeah.
AOE spells are still kind of rare by level 2. By the way, thank you, Fleur Yvette, for purchasing that Wither and Bloom last week. I'm sure these guys appreciate it.
Well, it didn't seem to bother me that much, at the very least.
Yeah,
I-
right.
I'm just pleased to see somebody use Wither and Bloom because every single guide for players is like, don't take the spell, it's garbage. So like nobody ever uses it.
It's actually pretty good.
I put together a list of 20 good spells and 20 bad spells, and big quotes around good and bad.
Yeah.
Some of them are damage. It mostly was a difference between like necrotic stuff and radiant stuff, as best as I could pick.
Yeah.
But between
Yeah, it
level
could have been
1 and
Crown of
level 2
Madness.
spells, yeah, Crown of Madness is definitely one of them. If you guys want to also check that out on our Ko-Fi store under the list for purchase scroll or Sinner, what's it called? Infernal spell scrolls or divine spell scrolls. So if you look under the divine list, you'll see a D20 list of good scrolls the players could end up with, and a D20 worth of scrolls that the bad guys could end up with, and that was 20 on the list. So if we ended up with it
Imagine
rolled.
being so mean that you just buy like a sinister ally while you're in the party, just so we can fuck with your party members.
Oh no.
Right. I
That's
tell
a
you
good
what,
idea.
I
Yeah,
was
right?
really trying my best to get a few extra ones in here. I've got a few ideas that I want to throw in.
Oh dear lord.
I
Whoever does
thought
that walks in front.
one of the big ideas I thought for chat interactions that they could purchase, since it is a special month being Halloween, I thought it would be very interesting if you guys could get possessed. Have a like D10 chart or D20 chart of different personalities that a ghost could possess, and when it possesses you, you take on that personality trait for the next session. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the ghost of a small child that's, scared of things, or a ghost of a teenage girl that just thinks the whole world owes her everything. You know what I mean? But I thought that would be kind of a fun little way to play around with it without breaking anything. But yeah, I'm going to try and add that for our Halloween game.
Dibs on the depressed millennial ghost.
Depressed millennial ghost, yeah. It's when we did trying to think, it was Death House. When we did Death House, they had a situation where the two children possessed the players at that point. One of them was terrified, the other one was like, let's go. So obviously I gave the terrified, young boy possession to our barbarian, and the wizard the, hey, I got this, let's roll, to our group's wizard, and let him just watch them kill each other. It went pretty good. Anyway, let me get back to the story at hand here. Let's do this. Okay, so as you enter the room, you see this woman standing over top, and you would actually hear the man say his brother's name, which I'll be honest, I totally forget. We'll say that it's like Baromir. We'll give him,
Okay.
a Lord of the Rings name, because I really don't recall exactly what it was. But as soon as he sees Barrick, is that what it was?
Garrick.
I prefer
Garrick,
Baromir.
thank you very much. That works.
Garrick.
So yeah, in that case, as soon as he walks in, he says, Garrick, no, Flintus, I'll kill you. And that's immediately when he gets just washed with this wave of necrotic energy, and you watch half his spells, like the first layer of his skin melt off, as he took the full brunt of the damage. But at that point, we are in combat, so we'll start at the top of the initiative order. Let me go ahead and get that pulled up on the screen here for us.
All right, let's
All
see.
right, so it looks like we're going to
Let's
start
go
out
something.
with, let me make sure we got this descending. Yeah, we're starting out with Max. Max rolled the highest with a 17. That's not a good sign.
Okay.
What?
17's
I feel like I
okay,
should
but
be insulted.
Nah.
All right. That means it's pew pew time, since I don't think there's much I can do to get in there.
Well-
Where'd they put it? Why is the little thing? Hang on, I'm trying to figure out how to fire this darn. There we go. There's the button.
all right, let's see what we got here. All right, so you rolled a 21 on your crossbow. That is
Yep.
definitely enough to hit her. And that is
All
12
right.
points of piercing damage. Gnarly.
And then as I reload, I'm gonna yell "Sick 'em," and RoboPup is going to sprint right to here, and he's gonna do his very best to chew off a leg.
Aww, he's adorable.
So send him running through the rats to try and chew on her, correct?
Yeah. So based on where the rats are, I
Mhm.
don't think he triggers any opportunity attacks?
Not if he doesn't move away from him. He's moved into combat with both her and the rats, but doesn't trigger any sort of op attacks or anything like that. Okay.
All right,
So yeah, go ahead and roll for your steel defender as well. Oh, nice, 22.
That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, it already did roll.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
there was
Ignore
a roll
that.
there. It was 22. It's a good one.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So not only do you land with your crossbow, but your steel pooch lands with a shot as well. What does it do? Another
2 force
2
damage.
Okay. 2 more force damage as you see this thing bite down on. You can almost see a flash of light as the steel jaws clamp shut on it, and she lets out a bit of a yelp or a wince. Ugh, filthy animals.
How could
but
she
my
say
baby-
that when
clearly
she
metal
has the
dog.
rat?
She actually points down, babies, devour this fool.
I scream at the top of my lungs,
this
lady, have you
beast-
seen your rats?
My rats are beautiful, leave them alone. But yeah, she actually does. She points down, beauties, kill this, won't you? And her swarm of rats fucking try to devour your steel defender. So yeah, let me make sure I get the right steel. Yeah, these rats here. And they begin swarming on top of your steel defender, just like a wave crashing all around him. You see these things begin trying to climb up and bite him. So that is going to be a 17 versus his armor class. Is that enough to hit his armor?
They hit. How much damage?
Oh, nice. They're going to
dead as
deal
shit.
7 points of biting damage, piercing, as their little teeth begin gnawing into the cables and metal and leather straps that hold this steel defender together. So it's not much, doesn't do much to the steel portion of the defender, but everything else begins to start getting plucked away at as they do 7
Guys.
points of damage.
Puppy parts.
Guys, they're eating my metal dog.
These rats
This is
don't play. They're eating my metal dog. Yeah, that's for sure. Just to double check, there was nothing else you were doing on your turn, correct? Because I mean, assume you since
Nope.
you moved to the pooch. Okay.
I'm kind of using the corner of the wall here for like partial cover, if
Okay.
that works for that. But other than
absolutely.
that,
Yeah, we'll give you
I'm
partial
just watching
cover
my
for
dog
that.
get munched.
Yeah, I definitely think that's worth at least partial cover for that. At this point, though, it is her turn again. You've been given the woman's name as Flinnis, and only told by Thoradin that, he suspected her of being a cultist for some time, but wasn't sure until he saw her coming in here, etc. So you don't know much about her. But he did tell you that she is rather powerful. So that's a bit of a concern. Let's see. What would she do next? Man, this is a tough one for me. It's so hard. I can't do that. You see her lift a finger, point it in Vanril's direction, mutter a couple of
Hello.
words, and 3 sparks of flame come leaping out from her fingers. 1 at Vanril, 1 at Thoradin, and 1 at the Steel Defender. All right.
Wow, scorching ray.
Mhm.
They're after your pooch, man.
It was
They're
that or
after me
fire.
frosted
It
with
was that or
charms.
fireball. I didn't feel like I had a choice.
Oh, okay, now I'm good with that. This is okay. This is fine.
Fireball.
Okay, so it just says 2d6. All right, first one I'm going to go ahead and roll for Vanril. That's going to be
All
4
right.
points of damage. Second one for Thoradin takes
is-
7 points of damage. Again, Jesus.
Is there not a save for this, or
Yeah,
No,
it's be
this
an
is
attack roll.
this is an attack roll. Oh, it's not rolling. Yeah, shit. Give me a second. Let me make sure. Yep, you roll. Let me actually make the rolls. I thought it was doing that for some reason. I don't know what I missed here. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so she gets plus. Oh, there it is. I got it. There's the first roll. So Vanril actually would have been a miss. Thoradin would have been a miss. And the Steel Defender unfortunately got hit. So ignore those first 2 damage rolls. And then I'll just roll the third one. So it was Vanril, Thornton, Steel Defender. Yeah. 6 more points of damage for your Poochie as it starts to heat up.
Stop setting my dog on fire.
Yeah.
Not the dog.
Yeah, I was
How
about
much
to say,
health
by
does
the
your
way,
dog have?
check this one.
20,
Burnt
so
dog.
I like how
But
Gary
hey,
says the fact this book has a mage with Fireball facing level 3 PCs is nuts. Yeah, check your books on this one, guys. That's not
supposed
a
to be level
modified
2.
encounter. Yeah, they're supposed to
Yeah.
be level 2 for one, and yeah, she has Fireball. They aren't fucking around. These are clever NPC, smart NPCs. They're dangerous too. So this is one of those games where even though we may tell jokes, it's a difficult challenge. It's an uphill climb the whole way. But anyway, yeah, she cast Scorching Ray at the 3 of you. The only one that seems to get hit is the dog. The other two, though, since you're in the hallway, as they kind of arc in, they just clip the corners of the hall, preventing enough for you to not take too much damage. She curses in some infernal language, and it'll go to Numo's turn.
Okay, let's see here. Got the woman killing the dog, the rats. They're not. I'll solve your rat problem. You guys just deal with the woman. I'm going to
Follow.
squeeze
Thank
past
you,
you
Banana, for
guys
the
and
follow.
stab this rat.
Good thing you're small.
All right, sorry. Yeah, by all means.
15.
Does 15
Get
hit
your
a rat?
balls up. Let's see. 15. Does that hit a rat? That does hit a swarm of rats.
Okay. Then I think I get sneak attack on that. We got the dog there still standing. Do we say he counts as an ally? Or
he should, as far as our
So-
Yeah,
right?
he would be an
Yeah.
ally. Correct.
Okay. So then that's gonna be 12 to the rat.
All right.
Oh, rats.
All right. So let's see. Sword, sneak attack. That would be 12 points of damage to this first group of rats. And you notice that is that piercing damage or slashing damage?
Piercing.
That is piercing.
Piercing damage. Okay.
How many rats can you shish kebab in one swoop?
I mean, aren't they like skeletal rats or something?
So
Like
as you, they
I think it
are
makes it-
they are just tiny little skeletal rats. Some of them still have a little meat and fur hanging off, a little ear that's still attached a little bit. But for the
So
most
you can
part,
still
these
make
things
dinner out of them.
are pretty gross as far as the smell coming off of these rats is. You don't know if it's from them or something that they ate, but it's abhorrent. But you do notice that as you slash down through these rats, they're just hard because it's a swarm. It's not a singular target. It's harder to get the full damage that you're hoping, but you do lay a blow and you do deal damage, but you don't feel it's quite as much as it should have been. And that's my polite way of saying these things have resistance.
Well then,
But you do some
um,
damage.
gonna swing at him again, I suppose. We established a 15 hits.
Yes.
Yes, that's
So this
another hit.
one,
Nice.
just 5 damage.
5 points. Okay.
And then, swashbuckler, shuffle, step off to the side here.
Sweet. Doing that swashbuckle move. Got the swashbuckler hustle going on. I don't know what you call that. Sweet.
Yeah, moonwalk?
Cool,
I don't
cool.
know.
Jack Sparrow shuffle.
Just crip walk off to the side.
And
Anywho.
that is my turn.
Yep. So let's see. After Numo, is there anything else that you want to do on your turn there, Numo?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Then after Numo is Alejandro. Alejandro Verdejo. That's the hardest name for me to say.
Alejandro will move up and draw his crossbow and take a shot at the necromancer.
Nice. Take a shot at the necromancer. She is quite shootable. She's got a great face for it.
Man, there go my
Lady, you have a
vacation
face for
plans.
radio.
Oh, don't be starting that again now, Alejandro. Oh shit! I almost forgot, guys. Damn. Yeah, there was some donations that came in this week. I nearly forgot about it. Each of you guys are starting with 4 advantages, by the way.
Oh,
It was a rather sizable.
dang, okay.
Yeah, everyone in the
Okay.
party starts with 4 advantages.
Or I
Yeah.
still have my
I can use that on
last
initiative.
one.
Yeah, I will say.
I'll
So
use
you
my
guys do have
advantage on this.
you do have a few advantages already stockpiled. They came in all at once, so.
So I have currently 5 advantages, and then I have the inspiration points still open. Jesus.
Right, yeah, I will say as far as they go, they just work like an inspiration token. Or like inspiration, you can use it either to give yourself advantage or give the GM disadvantage on any roll that you choose. You can't stack them, so you can't use like multiple to get multiple rolls on the same roll, you know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah.
And just like with your typical inspiration, once the description is given, it's too late. You know what I mean? So if you want to do it, make sure to do it when you first get the chance. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Goody says, I
I
recommend
rolled an
keeping
8.
physical dice. That's a good idea. Sorry. So yeah, if you want to, you do have advantage that you could use if you wanted.
I do want to use advantage.
Okay. Absolutely, man.
Oh,
And that
well.
doesn't help.
Well, at least you got the 2 bad ones out of the way, right?
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it. These are the 2 bad rolls. Switch your dice, and we'll figure it. Switch your dice. Put that one in a jail somewhere, you know. And let's see. Yeah. So as you take your shot, it does. She's just too. The scene in front of you is too graphic to focus properly. You're not only looking at a man that's been freshly dismembered on the table, but the way these rats are just gnawing at the steel defender, it's grating. So it definitely, causes a little stress to the situation, and your shot goes a little wide. Do you have any other actions that you would like to take on your turn, however, though? Any bonus action stuff or anything?
I can give somebody inspiration.
You could.
Why don't I give bardic inspiration to our paladin?
Okay.
Hey.
So you give inspiration to Vanril. Let's see. How do you bardically inspire our friend here?
I want to hear this.
I forgot. Do you do music, right? Or inspirational quotes? I can't remember.
I do inspirational quotes. Fight
Inspirational quotes.
strong
There you
and
go.
take that foe to the grave.
To the grave. There you go. You have currently a dot in bardic inspiration. Sorry, all the stuff's beeping all at once. Love you guys. Thank you for everybody for joining the Discord, by the way. I've been seeing a lot of people join the Discord today. That's always great. I love having you guys join us, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is good. I really need to get my ass cracking on our roleplay Discord so that you guys have a place to play. That's the main goal right there. I need to get that up and running this week so that you guys can get in there and start role playing. If you guys see it though, if you're in our main channel, you'll see an area that says join roleplay. If you head there, you will be able to find roleplay servers. A server that I'm setting up that's still not quite 100% there, but you can go ahead and begin start building characters if you like. Anywho, let me get at it. So that was Alejandro's turn. You took your shot, it missed, but you were able to still bardically inspire. Let's see. Anything else that you want to do on your end? Any movement or anything?
I am all set.
Okay.
Actually, no. I will move. I'll
Okay.
move back behind the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. You put your back against the wall, and you have total cover, at least from where she's currently standing. Let's see. Sariel, you would be next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you see all the sickening green rays. It almost looks like some sort of acid
A
being
light
splashed
show.
around with a light show of acid splashing around from that room, followed by a wave of fire that emits and shrieks down through the hall. But you, at this point, you still have a limited vision on what's going on inside that room. You just know it's bad. But what would you like to do?
I would like to move up a little bit. Let's see. Should be able to make it past. I'm just shoving him on the side, be like, move over. Just
Yeah, you can
push him
move
in the
through
wall.
any of your allies that you like. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm just shoving him aside. Wait, how do I calculate range again on this thing?
So it is
Where-
6 squares, but if you want to, there's a little ruler tab on the left-hand side. You can use that, or you can grab your token, drag, and then right-click. There's a handful of different ways.
Ah, gotcha. Oh, easy.
Basically,
So
wait.
let me see.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Max.
That's
usually the one
okay.
I
It was
like.
rather banal anyway.
I like the one where you just grab the token and then right-click as you're moving it, and it seems to measure out.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Um, If I cast a spell, would I be able to cast it past these two in front of me, or do I need to shove them out of the way again?
No, you can. So the idea is, with fifth edition rules, that if it's an ally, you can shoot through their space and you can move through their space. The idea being
Oh.
that you've worked with them enough to where you yell duck and they duck at the right time.
And they
Yeah.
say where and look around.
Yeah, where they turn
That's-
around and take
that
your
would be a
fireball.
you
to the
Duck
face.
thing.
down here?
You're short enough to be missed in the first place.
Wait, there's a duck
Um,
down here?
Aw, someone would miss me.
Let me see. I wanna
Nice.
I wanna see if I can hit her with guiding bolt on second level. Oh, I fucked up something.
Guiding bolt. Holy shit! Bringing in the big bombs.
I mean, I don't have anything small. What do you mean? Oh, I rolled a 10.
A 10. Let's see.
It's
says
actually a 14.
14.
Yeah.
It says 14. That is enough to hit. So you hit for 12 points of damage, correct?
Yeah.
Nice. 12 points of radiant damage.
And next attack has advantage.
I was about to say, let me throw an advantage on that one. See if
Oh,
I
no,
can. Actually, I don't need to because I hit anyways.
Yeah,
Oh,
you,
hit.
bitch.
you've hit.
Am I roasting her?
So at this point, you're definitely
Probably
doing
not.
12 points of radiant damage. It's not enough to kill her, but you
Aw.
hear a scream of pain as this bolt just lances through. You see the light radiating off and almost searing the skin as it radiates around her. So it is a strong hit against her. She's looking a lot more rough after that attack. You see that she's got several massive burns on her body, several places where she's got, a little trickle of blood running out of the side of her lip. She's not looking great.
It's not too late to surrender and talk to us, but I'm gonna kill you either way.
You fools,
It's not
you don't
too
know what you're
late.
doing.
Never.
They never
You
know what
think
they're
that's
doing, do
news to us?
they? Right.
We never know what we're doing.
Right. And I'm squeezing back the other way to just go back hiding back
Speak for
behind the tall
yourselves.
people.
You've
Why
entered
would
the
you
wrong
know that?
crypt.
I just hide behind the tall people. It works perfectly.
That's a good way to go. Let's see here. All right.
Half your
Well,
party
if that's
can't
the end,
legally go on roller coasters.
if that is the end of your turn, then
I think it's more than half the party, actually.
Our next character would be Thoradin, who was
Yes.
our helpful ally brought in by the chat. So he rushes in. Let's see, where's he gonna go? Is he gonna go straight for her? I tell you what, I'm gonna
He
have him make
probably
a
would.
roll. I want to know something. Okay. So he does. He goes straight for her, and he is quite furious at this. Well, actually, he would. Yeah. So that was the question I had. Is that's going to make him move through the rats, essentially. So the rats do get an opportunity attack as he rushes past, but he's got his blade out and charging straight in after her. The rats miss anyway, though, so no worries there.
Hey.
And he pulls out his short sword and begins trying to carve her up. That's 2 hits. 16 and a 14.
Oh.
He's not playing around.
Oh, he is not.
6 and 9.
Nice.
Oh
He's
yeah,
single?
15 points. Is he single?
He is now.
With his
Good
brother
stuff.
more often.
Let's see. I'm so distraught over the loss of my brother. You want to go to dinner?
That's okay. I got room in my bed.
All right. So yeah, dude rushes in. He just stomps straight through these rats. You can hear the bones crushing under his feet as he just charges, rage in his eyes, directly at this woman. There is no holding back at this point. He's just all out attacking, and you see him just taking repeated overhand swings with this blade as fast as he can. As soon as one comes over, he's already twisted around and pulling it down into the other direction, and does 15 points of damage to her.
think the dude's
That
pissed.
will be the end of his turn, though, and it will go to Vanril. Vanril, she's looking rough. This chick is definitely not looking good. The rats, however, seem to be perfectly fine. Well, no, minus the couple of them that are squished on the floor between Numo and this guy trotting through them. But yeah, that's where we're at currently.
I'm gonna go straight to here. No, I should be able to hit her from here, right?
Let's see. Yeah. You can hit her
Yeah.
there. So are you going melee?
Yeah.
You know what he's gonna do.
It's fine. I'm technically technically you're
Okay.
diagonal, so it's fine. It just looks weird because
All
of
right.
the table there, you know.
Because I don't want her to get another turn out and cast fireball. I don't want her to cast anything
Fair.
else.
Fair
It was
points.
really tempting to take it, but fireball against a group of level 3s just seems wrong.
I'm gonna roll the extra d6 of inspiration.
Well, it also
Did I-
hard to blow back on her.
Longsword plus a d6 of inspiration.
Okay.
6, that makes it an
Oh, yeah.
18 on your roll.
Yes.
Nice.
You have
Just to make
advantage
sure.
because of the guiding bolt.
and
Oh,
you
yeah.
have advantage because of
Shit.
guiding bolt. Better roll it just in case
forgot
it's a
about-
natural 20.
Actually, no. He hit her before that. The
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Corbin
correct.
did.
He would have had advantage. Let me
Yeah.
roll for his first attack again, just to make sure he didn't crit on her or something.
yeah.
Imagine if he did, but we didn't find out until this part where he's like sheaths
He
the
just
sword and goes,
slumps over.
"You're already dead."
Alright.
See the roll. I heard it, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. 22. Almost. Damn. It was
Oh,
close.
okay.
But no.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a natural 20, but
All right, so I'll take my swing at her. For let's see how much. 8 slashing damage. Either should I?
it's up to
Yes. The
Yes,
answer
okay.
is yes.
Smite just to make sure, just to triple check to make sure she dies.
you, man. All right. In that case, go ahead and roll your smite damage. Ooh.
Okay, that was a really horrible roll for smite, but that'd be a total of 11 damage.
That's a rough roll for smite. Either way,
Yeah, horrible
3
people,
is
and I
still
love
enough
it.
to make the difference. And as she's just completely caught off guard, she counted way too much in that scroll of wither and bloom to be at her defense on this one. But it was not enough to save her this time. She is lit
Dead as a doornail.
aflame by your radiant strike, and as soon as it crashes into her, you see that flash of bright white light that you've gotten familiar to, and you hear the crack of her like sternum being broken as you cut down through her. She is dead.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a smart move to drop her because you do not want her to get another round. some of the stuff that she has at her disposal. Holy shit, man. Yeah, that's rough. So yeah, you guys drop her right away. And anything else Vanroll wants to do on his turn, by the way?
I currently don't have anything else I can do.
Okay, you've used your inspiration. Oh, wrong button. You've used your inspiration. Your bardic inspiration. And it's at that point in time that as you're standing there, a swarm of rats moves right up into your square and starts chewing on your leg.
Hi.
So yeah, you
Well, at least
you
put your arm
just
this
stepped
time.
right over top of them, and then they came right up behind you. So they are going to begin literally crawling up, trying to find every way into that new plate mail armor of yours. She's going to try everything they're going to try everything they can do to get into the meaty bits. Let's
Not
see.
the
That is
nards.
going to be a
Ah!
20 versus AC.
Oh, well, that is
Okay.
exactly what I have. 20.
Nice.
I didn't put it on well enough.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. Should have tightened a few of those straps down, my friend, because they are coming in. Oh man, that's such a weak roll. They only do 4 points of piercing damage though, as they begin biting and chewing at your leg. Not all of them can fit between the armor. You know what I mean? There's a couple of, even though skeletons are still fat. They're a little bit bigger boned, so to speak, than the others.
What is it with all the animals trying to eat you? Are you
I
that
don't know.
tasty?
Maybe.
I have to try it.
I do have celestial blood.
I'm gonna have to try it.
They must
Max will be in the
bacon.
back wondering maybe he shouldn't have used bacon grease to polish the armor earlier.
Polish the armor. I just love that our knowledge cleric has become obsessed with obtaining the information about how the paladin tastes. That's amusing to me. I'm gonna start having to make her make con saves to resist. But yeah, with her dead, that would put it back to the top of the initiative. So like I said, these swarms of rats are still attacking. Even though she is gone, they do seem to still be animate and controlled. So they are still attacking players and the steel defender at the moment. And it goes back to Maxwell's turn. So you hear her shriek out as she drops. But you still hear the munching of rats gnawing in the other
Fucking
room.
rats.
Okay. So what I've seen earlier, how I probably would not have seen from my angle. I'm trying to decide whether or not I would have seen Numo go. All right, well, hopefully they're not resistant to magic piercing. And I'm going to attempt to shoot the rats off of the paladin's crotch.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Nice. He's got this one rat just crawling up, trying to work his way into the up under the cod piece
right.
there.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Guys, I'm
Sharpshooter.
fucking William Tell.
with magical accuracy, just before he's about to take a big bite. You know what I mean? This rat's about to chew on your gooch. A magical beam comes shooting through. So it is a crossbow, but you have the +1, correct? That's the way that works?
Yep.
That's what
It's
I
a
thought.
magic weapon.
Yeah, you put the +1, so it counts as magic. That does actually help a little bit. So let's do this then. That's group 2. Wow. Okay, so just to double check, let's make sure it did do the damage. It did give you 8 on the side. Okay, cool. So that was all I wanted to make sure. 15 points of damage to these rats.
This is why I healed you.
Yeah, not only does it hit that one, but apparently the arrow turns around and hits 3 others in the process. But yeah, you see about half the rats get, pierced by this arrow as it streaks through, and you see little skulls, little specks of bone and things scattering to the floor as it just streaks through them.
All right, and then I'm going to point as my follow-up at the other rats going for the same direction, and I'm going to yell to my pup, sick them.
Oh no!
Nice.
Don't worry, guys, this can't possibly fail.
If it does, at least I can enjoy the show.
You can ask the
All
steel
right.
defender if they taste okay.
Steel defender gets a 16 to attack.
That's enough to hit. That is a hit. And 9
He deals
points
9 points of magical force damage.
force damage. Nice.
Yeah.
9 points.
Yes.
So not only do you take this, perfect shot that just happens to pluck that one big, largest rat that's just about to make it into the underpants of our paladin. Also, the steel defender comes in and just starts ripping and tearing, and manages to kill all the remainder of the rats. But as he was walking away, he did trigger an opportunity attack, right? Because you
That
came
is-
from here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, there would have been an opportunity attack before you left the space. I almost forgot it. It only was a 12 though. So would that have hit?
Oh, yeah. And
Okay.
I yell out, "Don't you dare touch that armor!"
Yeah, so he just kind of like shakes. You see him shake like a dog trying to get the rein off, and just skeletal rats go flying everywhere. He bounds over and devours the rest of them. He's got a lot of little bones to chew on. This doggy's got his bone. Okay,
Now-
in that case, cool, man. Anything else on Maxwell's turn?
No, I did move up into the hallway a little bit.
Okay.
But other than that, nope. That is it.
The armor
Cool.
guarantees the protection with from our artificer.
Right, those rats are down. In that case, it is this swarm of rats' turn. Let's see, what are they gonna do? I think they would go after Thoradin. Since he was recklessly attacking, going crazy on her, they pursue over that direction. Do I have stats for him? Yeah, I do. 6. All right. These things don't get a great attack roll. Ugh, yuck.
We need it after the Matrix guy in the last room.
That's it. Yeah, the guy dodging bullets. In that case, so the rats go to attack him, but he's just still, even though she has went down, he is still furiously just hacking at this woman. Stab,
This dude is so pissed.
stab, and the rats are not able to get on his person enough to find a good place to bite. So he is okay for the time being. Numo, you see this, situation where the rats were just blasted away from in front of you and devoured by a dog, but you do see the other ones now trying actively to pursue Thoradin, as he's weeping into this woman's chest almost as he's making his final, just stabs with his short sword.
Stab her to death.
I'll throw a dagger at it.
Good old dagger.
I think that's what 13.
Gotcha. Sorry, 13 on the rodents is a hit, sir. Go for it.
Right on.
I got 3 screens and all of them are beeping at once.
Then I'll throw another dagger, so long as it's still moving. So I assume the 6 misses, but that would be 4 damage. Do I get how sneak attack work on range?
It works on
Okay,
throwing
right.
daggers.
Works on throwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw any finesse weapon. So daggers are finesse. So whether you're throwing it or stabbing with it,
Okay.
you're good.
So then, yeah, 1 hit with sneak attack would do 11 of piercing, though. They got resistance, right? Something like that. But yeah, I just got one of those
I
ceremonial
apologize.
daggers that they were using to sacrifice people, and
Okay.
I just huck it right at the rat.
Hell yes, 12
Nice.
points, 12 more points of piercing damage then, correct?
11, but
Sorry, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, so 11 points. 6. Yeah.
And then the
Yeah,
second dagger just misses. It's on the
second
floor
dagger's a
somewhere.
miss. So yeah, you start swatting through, cutting at them best you can. So it was a thrown, actually, right? You threw it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, throwing it in there, it clatters and it scatters a handful of them. You see that definitely they're below half their number. Which, if you know anything about swarms of rats, you would know that that is when they get weaker. But yeah, at this point, there's definitely less than half of them. They're still trying to attack. Some of them you see scurrying and looking for places to hide. But there's enough of them to keep the combat going for the moment, at least, as they keep trying to chew on this guy's pant leg. Anything else on your turn, sir?
I mean, as far as rats go, I don't really have anything else.
All right.
No, I guess
Yeah,
just
let's say
stand
you're
there
bonus
and
on
pass.
the side throw. So, all right, cool. Alejandro, last you saw, you had seen this woman standing and rats scurrying about. As you peek back around the corner this time, you see that she is on the ground. Thoradin is weeping over top of her while planting his blade in her chest over and over again. And most of the rats have been scattered to the wind, but there are still a few of them left that are trying to attack Thoradin. So, what would you like to do?
I move to here and I take a shot at this group of rats that's still moving.
Okay. Yep. You can move. You can take that shot at anytime you want, man. Yeah, those rats are hard to deal with, man. Any of the skeletal things, they get that piercing resistance. It makes it hard. Skeletal rats are even worse because they got resistance to piercing, bludgeoning, everything.
I just rolled a
Um,
crit.
even bludgeoning,
Oh, dang.
which makes no sense to me. Nice. There it is. See, we told you, got the bad ones out of the way. You put that dice in its jail, and now you're good to go. Yeah, man. If you want to go ahead and roll that up for me, go ahead and roll the damage. Let's see. So you would have automatic is 6 the damage on the weapon, by the way? Let's see. It's a D8 plus 3, so that would have been
Plus
11
3.
right off the bat. Plus you rolled 3, so that'd be 14 points of damage. Yeah, 14 points of damage scatters the rest of them that are still remaining to the wind. That's for sure. Even with the resistance that they have, that's still enough to scatter them. There are a couple of them that you see dive down into little cracks and holes, and you can hear them clicking as they skitter away. But the swarm is definitely gone. They are not active anymore. You do see a couple of them, like I said, scurry around, run. Some of them just collapse and fall apart. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. You've never seen so many tiny little rodents trying to move the same direction, all at once. But anyway, that is the end of this combat, I think. I don't think there's anything left to attack, so you
Alright.
guys are good. Nice. Well played, guys. You did a lot better at that than I thought you would. I thought this was going to take the first hour and a half of our game. Like, no question. I mean, it
No, you said
took
we
an
needed
hour,
to
but
speed things along, so
Yep.
yeah, I will say. Well, I just meant like if she would have got multiple rounds, I just
Yeah.
couldn't bring myself to fireball. It was wrong. Yeah, she was a CR5, like or 4. Like they made her tough,
Oh.
man.
What?
Yeah. That was a dangerous fight. You guys did
You're supposed to be
incredibly
fighting her.
well.
Aren't you supposed to be fighting her with the other 2 up on the top as well?
No, no, oh yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, because it says, well, actually, no, I reread that in the book. It didn't say that if she hears combat, she joins. It said if she
Oh, okay.
hears any sounds of combat, she prepares and readies an
Okay.
action. If the combat lasts longer than 10 minutes, she also manages to cast Animate Dead on that body, which would have been really fucking cool. When Thoradin's
And
brother
really
starts
fucking bad.
crawling off the table. Personally, I'd have loved that,
Alive.
but anyway, too many spoilers. Let me continue.
Yeah.
But
Dude's
yeah.
already traumatized.
Yeah, dude's wrecked. So as you look over, by the way, he is currently like once she went down, he got on the ground, like I said, next to her, and has just been stabbing with his short sword, What you do realize is he is, because like imagine trying to stab with a short sword as if it was a dagger. It's not long, it's too long. He's holding it by the blade, and just consistently stabbing her over and over again. His hand has been cut wide open as he's just like chopping into her. After a minute or two, if left unattended, left alone,
Oh,
he finally
Nope.
does stop.
Absolutely
but
not. Nope. I'm
Oh.
walking over to him and I'm grabbing his arm and be like, "Hey,
Okay.
it's enough."
Yeah, yeah,
She's gone.
he does concede. As soon as somebody touches him, puts a hand on him, you know what I mean, and she just says, "Yeah, this bitch, she killed him. We could have done something if we'd have just, if I was stronger, if we'd have moved faster."
If we would have walked in here, we would have all died.
And it was no guarantee he would be alive at that point.
The way
You said the
the way
body's in
he's
multiple
dead.
pieces on the table.
It is multiple pieces.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's been like
Yeah,
a hand. There's been a hand surgically removed. You know what I mean? There's one part of the leg that has been flayed in layers, so that you could tell she was just like experimenting with the body.
If we cast
Um,
mending on it, will it mend the body?
Yes, because it's an object now, not a person. So I'm going to start using mending as best I can to try to reassemble the body back together.
Do you do that
I'll help
subtly or
him.
just do it? I'm kinda
Well, it
curious.
takes a minute for each casting of mending, so it's
It
going
does.
to take a while.
Yeah, and I'll
Um,
help him with the same thing while I'm keeping an eye on this guy so he doesn't fucking kill us.
Yeah.
Oh my, what a mess this is.
Look,
He
we're
does-
trying, all right.
As soon as he does see you guys tampering with the body, he immediately just has like no clue what's going on. He just sees you fucking with the body, and he does try to stop. Does anyone go to stop him or anything like that, or
I back off as soon as he approaches and hastily explain we're trying to make him we're trying to put him back together.
We're
Gotcha.
making his
It's
body
just wrong like
whole
this.
to,
Yeah.
give him a proper burial.
Well,
Yeah, he kind of just, what he does is he just throws himself like across the pieces, which is even worse. One of them falls off the table, you know what I mean? But like he didn't know what everybody was doing, and he just kind of panicked when he saw somebody touching the body. You know what I mean?
I pick up the piece and put it back on the table.
Set it back on the table.
I'll stop and I'll
Um,
pull him in a hug and be like, "Hey, let us fix this as far as we
Give me-
can before
give
we
me a-
transport him out."
Give me a charisma persuasion roll. See how well you can
Lord.
convince this guy that
Grapple
everything's
check.
okay.
Persuasion
gonna-
or charisma?
So it is a charisma based skill, so it'll be both.
Oh, yeah,
But
I
if you're
see
if you're
it. Doesn't-
proficient with persuasion, you'll get a bonus. 13. I think. Let's see. Let me. Guess let's go ahead and just roll it out, right? 12. Okay. Yeah, got lucky. So after a minute, he does allow you to pull him back, and at this point he doesn't want to look at it anymore. Like he just turns his head, he buries his head in your chest, and you can kind of wave while you're patting him on the back. You can kind of wave your hand around, you know what I mean, and help mend. And within a couple of rounds, you guys are able to reassemble it to the best of your ability. It looks more like a person now instead of pieces of a person.
So
Good.
while they're getting that, Vanra will walk over to the body of the dead necromancer and sort of bring her away from like into a different corner away from him so he doesn't have to look at that her
Gotcha.
and start just checking to make sure if there wasn't any other scrolls or any other thing that that we could possibly use at the moment.
Very, 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 very clever. So taking a quick look over her body, you find a handful of things. Also, I do want you to give me a investigation check, actually. Intelligence investigation. Yep.
Come on, dice. You know what? I'll use advantage for this one just because I can. I'll knock off one of those, the 3, and the 4 that we have.
Okay. That's your
Let's
call,
see if
man.
it's any better. Okay, 13.
13.
Big
There it
improvement.
is. See, guys,
Well,
they're gonna need more of your advantages. They're gonna burn through them quick. I like it. Let's see. So, what you notice is on her belt, she has a very large ring of keys. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, She has 7 keys that are on a key ring around her belt. They're on 3 separate rings. One of them is by itself, 2 of them are by themselves, and then there's 4 on the other side. So 1, 2, 4, 3 separate key rings, all bound to each other by one big loop. As far as that goes, you find a components pouch that is on her side. You do find a scroll case that is empty. That where she pulled the scroll that she used from. Let's see, what else does she have on her? She has her robes, of course, that she is wearing, and a flail. Her flail, even though it is still with that same skull kind of design on the end of it, this is a very fine crafted flail. You know what I mean? You don't think it's maybe magical per se, but it's definitely really, really well made. So are her robes too. Like, this was apparently a higher ranking cultist. As far as that goes. She does also have, with a 13, you find that she has a very small key locked in her hair, or not locked, tucked in her hair, that has been kind of knotted in, to hide it. She's kind of put a small key behind her ear, more or less. She's got a couple of different, like bones and talismans that hang in her hair.
Yeah.
So she just hid it among them. And you would find her spellbook, of course. You would see that there's a black leather book with a skull-shaped lock on the front that holds the book locked together.
All right. So I take a look at it. I take the belt off as it is and leave the keys in the same arrangement as they are, just in case that ends up being important.
Mm-hmm.
And then taking the key from her hair and grabbing the book, I look over towards Max. Maxwell was like, "We have another one we can add to the pile."
Yeah, you guys have
I
got
come over and take a
bunch of
look.
collections.
And exclaim, "Oh no! If only we had a dragonborn wizard, he could make great use of this."
Oh god.
That small key.
It's so wrong.
Does it work in the spell book?
This is the fourth. This is the fourth spell book.
4th spellbook you guys have come across. Yeah, if you had a wizard.
The small key. The small
Do
key.
you want me to?
Does it work in the spell book?
Oh, the small key.
Let's see. Is the spell book locked?
The spellbook yeah, so the spellbook is black, it's leather, it seems to be, bound book, and it has a metal clasp on it like a child's diary would, you know what I mean? With a
Yeah.
small with a small skull-shaped lock on it, and it does have a very small keyhole in it.
I
You
hand
want
the
me
key
to
over to
make sure that-
Maxwell.
So I'm going to take the key, and first I'm going to use my arcane skills to attempt to determine if there's any kind of magical booby trap placed on this thing.
Okay. So you're just going to Arcana? Is that what we're doing here?
Pretty much, yeah. Theoretically, this is supposed to help me check for magical traps, but I've never played a character that does this. So
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Arcana roll.
Well,
I'm going to use up one of me advantages on that because I really want to know if this is going to explode.
Okay.
oh well, that's
I
even
have
worse.
no idea if this is going to explode. So
Taking a look at the book and your what arcane knowledge you have a +5 too, dear god. You do see
Yeah.
that there is, of course, some sort of almost a magical essence or presence to this book, but as far as to whether it's just because it's a spell book, I mean, obviously it has some magical stuff to it, but you can't see any locks. I mean, you see the lock mechanism on it, but you don't see any sigils that seem to bear, any sort of like wards or glyphs or anything like that would make you think that right off the bat.
all right, I tell everyone, I'll be right back. 1 second. I move out in the hallway over to here, and I stick the key in the lock and open it.
Okay. In that case, as you pop the key in the lock and pop it open, it opens. And right there on the very first page is that ward you were looking for. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy! Guys, I
They
figured
don't
out
put it
whether
on the
it's
outside.
trap.
They put it on the inside.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually the lock though, so that's kind of the hard part on this one. Okay,
Oh boy!
that's a 9.
Oh lord.
Let's see.
As we see a large fireball erupt from.
Hey, this is where you put the fireball spell.
As you open it up, you do see that there is a strange black glyph that looks very skull-like in design, almost like a tribal skull image that's painted on this first page. And as you open the book, the ink that it is written in begins to bleed off of the page, and as you look down, it is rolling up your arms, and by the time that you're done, it completely covers your body. And in this weird sigil that you see everywhere, there's a kind of sickening feeling for a second, and it disappears, seemingly with no effect.
Oh, you don't fucked up.
So I come back in holding the book at arm's length and say, there's a very good chance I think this thing just cursed me, but also it should be okay now, and I drop it on the table.
You touched it.
So,
Look, someone had
It's just
to,
a book. I'm sure it's okay.
so
but it did weird black slimy stuff on my arms, guys.
I
Do you
just
feel
want to
okay?
see.
I want to do a
I was going to do divine sense.
All right, whatever. You do you.
Well, I'm not undead
Okay.
yet.
Yeah,
but
give me
yeah.
another minute.
I will post a list of what spells were in that book. It says that it has all of her spells, so.
Oh, actually, this is a bit of a reach, but when it flashed that glyph on my arms as it was preparing to turn me into the blob, did I recognize the glyph at all?
Let's see. This is kind of weird because you're not necessarily like
The better question would be,
you're
would you be able to
traditional arcane
recreate
user.
that one?
Yeah.
If you were to able to recreate it, then
Yeah, that's another
I
one.
don't-
If I didn't know it, would have.
I think
would
you could
enchanting-
approximate it, but you don't think that you could actually replicate it yourself. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't the entire thing about enchanting be using those glyphs to enchant things?
It really would be, yeah. So like glyphs would be something that definitely be in that area. Again, I think that you could, if you needed to, you could make a close approximation of it, but I don't think you could actually recreate it entirely because you don't know what components were put into casting the spell.
no,
as far
that's
as
not
the
what I meant.
image, as far as the
Yeah.
image, yes, you could
Okay.
recreate the image. You don't think you could actually recreate the spell though.
No, yeah, it
So
was only
full
the image
story.
that I was curious about.
Prestidigitation lets you make an image in your hand. So I'm going to use that to hold up my hand with a picture of the sigil that just appeared on my forearms. And then I hold it up to our, well, I guess the closest thing to a caster we have, to our cleric, and say, it did this, and I don't know what that means.
If any of you that are trained in Arcana, if you have proficiency in Arcana, you can make a roll at this to see if you're able to determine what this is.
Oh,
Oh boy. Knowledge strikes again.
Nice. 16,
knowledge strikes
19.
again.
All right, those are only 2 Arcana users.
Yep.
Alejandro, there we go.
I still need to taste our paladin at one point.
Again, let's see. Yeah, I think even 15 is probably high enough. This is one of those weird effects that it doesn't actually have an actual spell name. It just has an effect. You know what I mean? But what you would assume, based off the sigil work that is laced in between the subtle sigils hidden in between this picture, you would assume that this is some sort of curse that would cause a vulnerability.
Oh no.
You want to guess which type
I'm
of
already
damage it is?
Emotional.
Emotional damage, absolutely. Yeah. So
Spiritual.
yeah. If you, Allie, you would definitely know. So, you rolled above an 18. You would know that this is a vulnerability to necrotic damage. So for the next certain period of time, you believe that he has been cursed with a vulnerability to necrotic damage.
Well, I have no good way to say it, but stop touching things.
But it was look, it was
No,
either
no,
that or
listen. You touch something, and then you got hurt. Now you touch something, and I'm about 99% sure that you just cursed yourself with a
Lord.
vulnerability to necrotic damage.
look,
We're
I'm a
in a
Scorpio. This is
dungeon
what we
filled with
do.
necrotic dead things.
You can't take away my right to touch things.
Oh lord.
I mean,
Look,
as
I
long as
vote
you
to
got
tie him
something
up.
useful out of it.
it was either us, it was either me, or Armored Santa over there, and I point at the paladin.
Yeah,
Well,
he would have been fine.
It actually might have been better for me in
Yeah,
that
right?
case if it was necrotic, because it would just cancel out.
It
You
would
hush,
make
we
you
can't
regular.
damage that armor.
Can we make it better?
That's it. But yeah, you do have so you do have vulnerability to necrotic damage for the next 24 hours.
Oh, dear lord.
Oh boy.
All right.
Well, there goes my plan to make out with a zombie later. So
I know, right?
I thought that was my job.
no, your job is to eat the paladin.
It's
Oh,
apparently
that's
to
all,
eat
that
the
is true.
paladin.
That is true. Yeah, no, you're
Uh,
right. I'm sorry.
I look
Let's
over to our Harper friend,
But-
and I was
Okay.
gonna say, as I look over to our Harper friend, walk over to him, I kind of stick my hand out, look at him like, I guess this is where our paths end. I'm sorry, and just sort of like, I'm sorry for what has happened.
Certainly where his
Gotcha.
brother's path
Give
ended.
me a charisma persuasion for yourself, and let's see how
Alright.
how well you kind of
I mean,
how
I'm
sincere it
technically
comes
still
off.
holding this guy, so I'm just gonna like let
Right,
go.
you guys have done a pretty good job of putting him back together. It looks a lot better. Van Roll with a
Thank you.
sincere apology. As you approach too, you see that he's just sitting there staring. He's calmed down at this point. The initial wave of shock has left him. And you do see that he just kind of looks up at you. He has a bit of a tear in his eye, and he just says, "Well, he told me to be a better man, and because I didn't, he's dead. So I guess I'll make it my journey from this point on to be better. It's the least I can do in his name. I'm gonna take him home to our family, though. You guys kill these bastards. Kill every one of them. Drive them out root and stem. I don't have the fight left in me to help, but I appreciate everything you did." And you do see that he starts more just like he takes we'll say that there's like a blanket that was laid out on this table that he starts wrapping the body in, you know what I mean? And he picks him up, says his goodbyes, and takes a look
Right.
both ways.
I
Good.
say right before he walks out, I look him. I decided to look him in the eyes and say, remember, Hillers are trying to do the right thing. Don't listen to the others.
There you go. That makes sense. Yeah, he kind of nods. He takes a look left and right down the hallway, and with his brother in tow, you know what I mean, starts stealthing his way back towards where you saw the entrance.
Imagine
Where you
stealthing
guys
while you're
came in.
dragging a body. That's worse than
Right.
clink, 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 clink.
Yeah, he's got to carry this guy while doing it. But yeah, he says that he's out, and that will be where we drop his character. Thank you guys again, chat, for sending in that helpful ally, but if I don't have to run him longer than necessary, he will take his leave of absence at this point. But yeah, other than that, so like I said, I sent a list of the spells that were in that spell book as far as that goes. That was the only thing that she had on her person. Yeah, Yeah, the keys that she had in the spell book. That's what you found on her person. But at this point, the room is quiet. Other than the distant clicks you can hear of a little bony mouse scurrying its way down through a hole that you couldn't quite get to. You know what I mean? That one of the ones that
Yeah.
escaped. But the left half of the room is kind of crumbling and rubble, much like other rooms that you've encountered. It seems like this dungeon hasn't been well maintained, so some of the walls are starting to crumble in places, things like that. There is a lot of candles that were lit around the room. A couple of different, like I said, spell components, that you could find as far as that goes. Nothing really too impressive though. But it seems like that's all there was in this area, other than the body and the woman herself. So
I don't know about you
All right.
guys, but I feel like we might need to want to keep moving.
Yeah, I'd say we keep on our we keep momentum as best we can.
fair enough.
There's a door.
While you guys move, I'm gonna grab a Red Bull, but please continue.
Right.
Yes, dude. Are we trying to clear the rest of the dungeon, or what exactly is it we're looking for?
We're looking for
Information.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
One of these
Information is
cultists-
everywhere, or anywhere.
Well, specifically, I feel like we should look for it in the pockets of every single bastard we see down here.
Besides,
Yes.
we owe it to
Exactly.
Thorin
Pockets,
to kill
that's a
them.
good idea.
All right. Let's
Yeah,
see.
the general understanding I believe I had, or the way I remember it, was that you guys were just kind of told, this might be a place to search for clues. So, as far as exactly looking for a certain item or anything, you don't know what you're looking for, but there may be
We
information down here yet.
know. We know. We've seen cultists with the same symbols on their weapons and their appearances as the cultists that we encountered back in El Torel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely the same as the ones that you had encountered in the woods. That's for sure.
Yes, this
Um,
is the right hallway. Like it had the door with the skull man on it. So this
Cultists.
should be our way.
yeah.
But there's a lot of splits down this corridor.
Allie, you would know. Sariel would know.
Okay.
Pretty well. After having a couple of looks at the different symbols, the cult of the dead three represents the worshippers
Oh yeah, no. It
of
was more of
Bane,
the
Ball,
whole
and Merkel.
alteral part.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just.
I
I
don't
was
think she was at that point yet.
Right. I was just letting you know that, like, you've been given that information already. That these guys are called the Cult of the Dead Three. They worship
Yeah,
Bane,
yeah.
Ball, and Merkel.
Yeah.
The skull symbols that you've seen, you would probably be the only one that maybe Van Roll might know one or two of them, but would recognize that even though it's pretty much the same skull symbol that they're seeing on a lot of things, there's little variances, little differences that kind of separate. One more is like a Merkelite, you know what I mean? One more is a Bane worshiper, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all three
Yeah.
kind of under that same
yeah.
face of ball, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the general symbols that you've been seeing on these.
All right. Let's say we should keep moving. Should
Does anybody need
What you-
healing? Is everybody okay?
I look down at my arms and just mumble, "I'm not okay," as I hop on top of my Robopup.
Well, there's not
I-
much we can do for you at the moment.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait this one out, man. I don't have anything against that.
Fine.
That's the price you pay for your stupidity.
Why don't you
take
show
it.
us what you touched?
Yeah, I mean, I point to the spell book and go, "It's safe now, so win."
Yeah, right.
All right. Let's put it with the other four, and I'd say we should get a move on. How about the rest of you?
Show us on the doll where the book touched you.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I quickly put 5 hit points on myself for my lay on hands pool.
Okay, gotcha. You go ahead and throw some lay on hands on yourself, and begin making your way down the hallway. So, first door you come across, you have a door that's right here on your right hand side. seems to go south, and up ahead you see another door that's at the top of a set of stairs leading up to the next area. Which way would you
Right,
guys
so-
like to go?
Who's going first? Who wants to go first?
You're the tank.
All right. I didn't know if we want to sneak ahead or are we just going to barge in through these next groups.
Oh, that's fair. You have it.
I mean, we also woke up this whole dungeon by now. We might as
All right.
well barge in through this door. No point in stealth on this one.
Yeah.
Kick
So-
it in if you want.
So
Um,
I sort of open the door, shield out front, and start, making my way through, like going down this way. Sort of just walking with my shield over, in front of me
Yeah,
as we're
definitely.
heading down
So
this.
as you open this door, you do see that there is a tiny little bit of candlelight that seems to be emitting from the room itself, as if there's candles in here somewhere. And you see a shadow being cast on the wall, kind of right here in this hallway, that is enormous in scale. It looks like a giant houndish figure of a shadow that is slowly moving up the wall as it's rolling in your direction. And as you are just about to slam the door shut back, you see the tiny little mouse pop up that is sitting next to the candle, casting this giant shadow that seems to look at you, rub its little nose, and just kind of stare as it sees you standing there. But otherwise, this room is otherwise empty, other than this little guy. Let's see if I can put him on the map here for you.
Aw, cute little
He's-
mouse.
He's clearly a
Yeah,
polymorph dragon, and we have to kill him.
There he is.
Well,
No.
He's sitting here on
Not
the
the
floor.
mouse.
He's just chilling on the floor
do we
here next to a
trust-
candle.
do we trust the mice in this place?
Yes.
I mean, the last one tried to eat you, so.
Yeah.
That wasn't a mice, that was a rat.
Yeah, that was a rat.
That's true.
I mean, they're vermin nonetheless.
No.
Kill it either way.
I smack him across the back of the head like that.
I got an
Well,
idea.
Jesus, your cleric's getting
Yes.
violent.
What if,
Um,
and then I point at Robopup, we send him in, and he just pokes it with his nose.
Okay.
What's wrong with you?
I can do that.
I touch it, you get upset. I send my dog in to touch it, you get upset.
It's a
I can't win.
mouse.
Yeah, so
I
were the
didn't
other
say to
ones that try to
kill it.
eat us.
That were rats.
I said to poke it. He's just going
Oh.
to
I mean,
poke
we-
it, not.
Fine, you go. You go have it.
If you send your steel defender in, it goes over and begins. I guess it wouldn't really be like sniffing, would it? But
No,
it
he just kind of reaches out and pokes it with
Um,
one paw.
He probably
Yeah.
just munched it or killed it just because
he does.
did, like,
He does kind of reach out to go to poke it with one claw. You know what I mean?
Well,
And all of a
yeah.
sudden, it kind of like bites at the claw. You see it almost like chip a tooth, and then shake its head like, "Ow, damn it, that hurt." And then it scurries back behind the candle, and you see it like peeking around, trying to look around, like, "Shit, they see me." It does then turn probably and try to start making its way. After that, it would probably try to book it through like a hole in the wall over here.
Alright.
that's one smart mouse.
Okay then. Well,
Not sure
it
what
doesn't
that was supposed to prove, but yeah, we did that.
That's
Yep.
a suspiciously smart mouse.
Well,
Well-
it's gone now. Either way.
If nobody
I'm
tries
gonna
to
go check
stop
out the
it,
candle.
yeah, if nobody tries to stop it, it jumps in the hole and it's gone. Just a candle laying left, sitting on the floor, directly in the middle of the floor. There's 2 or 3 candles here. It looks like a pile of wax. You would assume that maybe they have left candles burning to, find their way through these darkened corridors at times.
Um,
These
I
ones
pick
were
up the
simply
candle.
left burning. Cool. You grab a candle.
Right.
It's a black candle with a sickly green flame. I think that's the way it
I
look at it
describes
for a
most of the
second.
candles.
I look at it for a second, turn it over,
Yeah,
and
that
then
looks
say,
like something you should
"Huh."
touch.
I'm still alive.
I'm
I
still
just put it back
alive.
down.
Nice.
I just continue to go down the hallway. Just
Gotcha. Making your way down through the remainder of the hallway. Let's see what else you got. The first thing that you would encounter is as you get to the bottom of these stairs right here. Your feet hit water. It's a couple of inches deep at first, and then as you make your way through this broken hallway, the rocks are busted down. The wall is half caved in on the side. It gets very thin, and you have to squeeze your way through, which is not easy to do in your full plate armor. But you
Yeah.
are able to get to the other side, and by the time you get to this door, the water is nearly up to your knees. But the door does
I
seem
look
to
at
be
Hi,
them.
Numo.
unlocked.
I look down the like crumbled hallway as they're about to start, making their way. Like, well, looks like the gnomes are swimming.
Yeah.
I hop on top of my
Well,
pup and go, one of the gnomes is swimming.
I like
well,
I like how Numerous was about to say something. He just looks like sad, like, oh, damn it. Yeah.
my,
I'm grabbing Numo.
Oh, shit.
I'm taking Numo with me.
You're 3
Ugh.
foot tall.
my shoes were
Oh,
already
4.
wet.
Right.
Exactly. That means if he's sitting on my shoulders, he still stays dry.
The two of
Ish.
you can make one person. You're definitely strong enough, though, so if you wanted to throw him up on a shoulder, you
Yep.
could do it.
I am.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, as you trudge through this little bit of water, like I said, it does get up to about knee deep. It's only, a foot or so deep, foot and a half deep. And you make your way into this next area here. You find a flooded cavern with four beams that have been set up in the center of the room to hold this room together, more or less. You can see that there's been patches kind of put in place and boards just staggered throughout here to keep the ceiling from falling in, but it seems otherwise like an empty room other than the foot and a half of water on the floor. There is another smaller section that leads north to the next room if you want to keep trying to go that direction, though.
I take a look down to make sure if it looks safe, at least safe enough to move through it without.
You think you could probably get through the hallway? It seems okay.
All right.
Again, it's a tight squeeze. You actually have to it's like what would be considered a squeezing by mechanics. So you
Yeah.
have half movement while moving through those areas, but it seems to be sturdy enough to hold you as far as that goes. As you get down to the other end, though, the room is dark. You guys all have dark vision, so that doesn't bother you. But
And blind sight for
um,
me.
yeah, you find a room
have-
filled with murky, foul-smelling water that surrounds an open stone sarcophagus that's resting in the middle of the room. The lid has been broken into 3 pieces, and so at least one of those pieces are laying, or I think all 3 of the pieces are currently laying underwater. So you can see that somebody's removed the lid to the sarcophagus, and the pieces are laying at the bottom of it.
I take one step closer and I use a cantrip to cast light on my sword
Okay.
and just sort
Illuminating
of hover it
the
over.
room.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
just to look in.
you
I
cast
stay
light
a
on
little
your
bit on
sword.
distance because poor Numo is just sitting on my shoulders here.
Okay.
Fair
I
enough.
should have said about 30 feet ago that this place looks like it would be a good place for traps.
Yep.
It's a fair point.
Good thing is that you're high and dry.
Just a heads up, Benro.
Yeah, that's
taking a look around, waving your wand, waving your lit up sword across the room. It does, illuminate what you can see in the sarcophagus itself. Let's see here. It looks like a collection of rotted bones and black sludge that is sitting in the bottom of the sarcophagus. Whatever was in here has turned to a rather nasty stew at this point. Between the moisture of the room and everything
Yeah.
else, it's just it's rotted away and is still in the process of that to some degree. But without actually getting your hands inside there and moving sludge around, that's really all you can tell. You can see the pieces of the stone lid at the bottom.
Do
There's
not stick your hand in there.
no real special markings
Maxwell!
or anything on top of the
No!
lid, but
I was actually just thinking, if we cast prestidigitation there, we could clear away the sludge and see if there's anything in there.
yeah. Maxwell.
All right, I
Wow.
come up, roll up my sleeves. Fortunately, nothing says I have to touch this in order to do this. More's the pity. This as I
Sure.
cast prestidigitation inside the coffin to try to clean out the sludge.
Okay, yeah. You cast prestidigitation, and the bones, of course, stay there, remain, but the sick black sludge that's in the bottom does seem to evaporate almost while you're looking at it. And looking at the bottom, it seems to be an empty coffin with some bones in it.
I peer in and hold my little camp lighter over it for a second to better illuminate it, and I say, "This is extremely disappointing.
Don't touch it.
It's just a dead dude inside this coffin. I mean, what the heck?"
What did you
All right.
expect?
I
I
only
don't
have 3
know.
spellbooks in the other
if
one.
you want to, give me an investigation check.
I do
Looked
want
like
to.
the previous coffin that we saw with the big
I want
big
to,
puppy.
but I
That
can't.
was
Fire dog.
depressing. That was
I
a
want to.
depressing check.
Keyword.
You gonna
Yeah.
advantage?
No.
Again, taking a look
No.
in,
I'll-
it looks as if there's just some bones in this
I'll
whole
take a
thing.
look with them.
Okay.
Okay.
There is bones in the bottom of this casket, or the sarcophagus. The bottom, actually, taking a look though, it seems as though it's a stone sarcophagus from top to bottom. And there is some bones laying in the middle of it. If there was anything in there in the sludge, it should have still remained, and you don't see anything. So you feel pretty confident
Okay.
that there doesn't seem to be anything in here.
Alright, that's it.
Well,
I'm turning around with new on my
Time to
shoulder.
get out of
Yeah.
here.
Plow back.
Yeah,
Last
let's
time
go.
I had to move the body to find the books, and those were worth quite a bit. You sure you don't want to turn them over?
I mean,
Don't
I'm not.
Maxwell,
touch anything.
you won't touch it?
No.
You want something,
I
No,
Maxwell?
no, don't touch
I go
it.
back over and hop off my pooch, step to one side, and I tell the pooch to go root around in there and see if he can find anything.
It's okay.
Nice.
Let them do it.
All right, let's add desecration to corpses to the list of charges.
I take a step back towards the hallway.
Right. Everybody begins moving back. In that case,
I moved
as
back
your
far away.
steel defender starts nudging bones out of the way, the second that this steel defender touches the bones on the inside,
Oh, I don't like this.
you see a flash of light as a gnarly looking black handled wrapped but glowing with almost like a purplish hue battle axe seems to apparate out of nowhere and takes a swing at the steel defender. Steel defender is able to dodge out of the way just in enough time though before it hits, but it seems almost like you have seen Sariel's spiritual weapon before. It looks
Nope.
like that. It looks like a dark version of that.
They don't.
Oh, they
Yeah, we
haven't seen that yet? I thought
No,
I thought you
and mine
did.
is also not a battle axe.
Oh, you
I
can
just
choose
meant
one
in
if you want.
general, the spell would look
Uh,
familiar.
Yeah.
But
All
yeah, if you haven't seen it, that's right. I guess you haven't used that yet. But yeah, so as soon as it apparates, it takes a chop at it and tries to attack your steel defender. From your position, you still don't see anything in the box. It still just looks like a collection of bones. But this axe does begin now chasing after you as well. So, what
I
is it that
pivot
you
on
want
one
to do?
heel in the water, scream, "Time to go!" and run out of
You
the room
imagine-
as fast as I can.
Okay. It takes another swing at you as you go to leave the room, but you being so short, it just kind of goes right over top of your head. And as you and the steel defender run out of the room, this thing goes directly to the edge of the room and stops.
I pause a few feet away and look at it for a moment to see if it's still following.
It's almost as if it is watching you. As you step a little bit to the side, it moves a little bit to the side. It's just waiting for you to come back into its reach.
It can't leave the room. It's bound to the room.
You know what this means?
If you're
It's
stealing
something
already
good
something,
in the room.
something.
Yes,
the
it's
coffin.
guarding something in the
It's
coffin.
guarding
it might-
something.
It might be guarding the corpse in the coffin.
Who cares about corpses? Nobody would put a spell in just to guard their corpse. I mean,
Unless
actually,
it was a
that makes
person
sense.
that was. Yeah.
That's funny.
But what if it's guarding something under the coffin?
You can test if you want. I'm walking back this way.
Fine,
I
you people had
mean-
no fun.
I doubt an axe would just
That's
simply
hilarious.
be swinging at us for rage. It's got to be there for a purpose.
You guys are totally invested now.
I'm walking
Yeah, but
this
if-
way. If you guys want to go investigate that, you're welcome to.
Yeah,
Corpses is not my deal.
I have a gnome on my shoulders. I'm good.
Were we not seeking knowledge? No? I mean,
Well, I don't think we're gonna find it on.
I
Oh,
seek
that was a
knowledge.
cheap
Go
Hold
ahead.
on.
That was a cheap
I'll tell you
shot.
what, if you want to go touch
this
the
has a
dead
lot
thing
of unknowns.
while you're especially weak to dead things,
You know
you
what?
have
He
fun.
has a point. He has a point. Numo, get the fuck off my back. I'm going in.
Ah, son of a
Oh.
biscuit. And then I turn around and follow her.
Goodbye.
That's
I just go up to this
hilarious.
door and
That's my
just kind of
own
lean on
grave.
it.
Now my feet are gonna get wet.
Does
This was
the
what I was trying to avoid.
does the door
go in.
does the
Excuse
door
me.
open towards 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 me or out back into the hallway? Oh, there we go.
So the door in this area specifically, like in the hallway, you mean?
Yeah, back out towards 14.
Yeah, the hall. So it would probably open in towards 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
In towards 14. Oh wait, I meant say 14.
Yeah,
And,
it aims in towards this way.
Okay, yeah. So I just sort of lean on it to make since I big plate armor, decent size, keep a little bit of weight on it, and just while they're
Oh, you're
just
talking about this
listening,
one
just in
here.
case.
You're,
Yeah,
you're
just
clear
just
up
to
here.
listen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that door also opens inward, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna listen to
there's
see if they start screaming. If they do, I'm gonna start making my way back that way. But
Oh no, I've hidden my players. There we go. Everybody's back up now. I was trying to
We
pull open
all
an image
aced
of the
ourselves
sickly battle axe that was flying around there. But yeah, so you guys are making your way back in. How do you plan? Your pig, your farm. How you want to fuck this thing?
Hang on, was that a
Uh,
screenshot from Adventure Quest?
By the handle? No,
It
just
might
kidding.
be.
Damn, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, I just
I don't even know how
I
to
typed
fight
in
the
evil,
weapon.
typed in evil battle axe, and that's what I got. So
All right.
Nice.
Well, how long does that spell normally last?
You don't want to know the answer.
What's the answer?
So normally it
It should be gone by now, shouldn't it?
spiritual
No.
weapon has a duration of 1 minute.
yeah. So
All right.
It's only
so
10. It's only 10 rounds.
How about
Yeah.
we wait a minute then and see if it just
Yeah.
goes away?
but it can be resummoned.
yeah, but we can. You still can. Oh, I'm not there.
Eh,
Yeah. So as you sit there for a minute and watch this thing, you see that it pulls up a stool, gets a cup of coffee, pours itself a cup of Joe, and sits at the edge of its perimeter, waiting for you to
you
take
mind
that
giving me a
step.
cup of coffee too there, buddy?
It does pour you a cup and scoots it across.
Aw. Aw, thank you.
It goes to hand it out and then just drops it in the mucky, nasty water as soon as you go to grab it. But
Wow,
yeah,
so
no,
not only is it
after a
evil,
minute,
it's petty.
yeah,
It's a
after
petty
a
and
minute
evil.
goes by though, it does not seem to disappear.
I take the
Something
opportunity while
must
we're
be
waiting to fix
channeling
it.
To fix it, make it look nice.
Well, to fix my steel defender specifically.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
As soon
Yeah,
as I can
yeah.
find
In
it.
that case, you can absolutely fix the steel defender. Is there rolls or anything required for that? I assume.
Yep, I do bare minimum amount of repair work on it apparently,
Gotcha.
but it's another 3 health.
Cool. But yeah, it does not seem that this thing is going away. That's for sure.
Can I roll a? Oh, good question. either Arcana or Investigation check to see what this thing thrives, seeing as it's not your standard.
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check. Oh, that would be Arcana on this one. To understand
Can
how
I
this
as well?
magic works.
Oh yeah, not 20.
Yeah. Both of you go for it.
Oh, her with her.
18
Oh,
and a
boy.
20. Nice. So even especially with that nat 20, you would know that there are a lot of different variants of spells, and a lot of times you can embed spells. It doesn't necessarily mean it's exactly the same as what you have, but it's just been molded in the similar fashion. But these spells typically have a duration, depending on how powerful the wielder was that produced the spell. But these things can last anywhere from a minute or a couple of minutes to hours. You've even heard of spells lasting days, years. You're not sure. This one with a nat 20, though, I'll just tell you, it looks like it's going to last for about 24 hours.
All right, so we come back 24 hours from now.
That's
Let
definitely an
me
option.
try this. I'm gonna stand outside its reach, but like close to the entrance, and I take a hammer out, and I just like kind of lob it in the room to see if it reacts to it at all.
It does not.
You
Well,
couldn't have
I am
thrown a
out of
rock.
ideas.
It
It seems like it would be more
you
friendly
see the
to a
head of the
hammer.
axe turn and watch it, and then it just turns back at you, and it starts shaking like no, 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 like not falling for that. You know what I mean?
Wait,
Uh-uh.
does it actually do that?
It does.
Can I recognize, based on the design of the axe, what kind of construction it was? Like, who made it? Does it look like elven, dwarven?
Ooh, interesting. It's Titherian. You would assume this was a human-made production, based by so specifically Tithir, which is kind of the general area where you are between Baldur's Gate and It is a pretty
So,
standard thing, but it's well made, and stuff like that. But you also realize it's not real. Like one of the things, especially with the check that you made, is that there are certain parts of it that don't make sense. Like the banding that's around it looks beautiful, you know what I mean? Like it was well done, but it wouldn't functionally be accurate. You know what I mean? It's like a cartoon rendering. That wouldn't really work that way. So you can tell it's not really an axe. There's no physicality to it other than it's you know the arcane
right.
magic behind it. But yeah, that's what you would get. Is it's modeled after a standard Titherian axe.
But bear with me on this thought process. It reacted like that, which means there's some intelligence behind it. So ergo, it should be capable of communication, and a human construction style would indicate whoever conjured it was most familiar with that kind of weapon, indicating they were human. So I'm going to speak in
I think you
common
can speak to it.
and say, and ask, can you understand this? Directing it
Um,
directly at the axe.
it takes a second and nods. It gives two dips forward as though it can understand you.
This just got really
We can
awkward.
negotiate. Where's the bard?
Well, this is
At
no
this
longer
point,
interesting to me.
it being like it was at this point be like 3-4 minutes they've been in there.
Yeah.
I just sort of start walking back down that way, like to see what the hell's going on at this point.
Yeah.
It's taking them this long.
You wait 5 or 10 minutes and they still aren't back yet. Go check it out.
I will ask if the person in the coffin is its master.
Yeah, I think it would also reaffirm give you a positive, like an affirmation. Yeah, it would more or less nod twice again, like yeah.
So what you're telling me is that this thing is way more powerful spell than any of my shit because the dude's fucking dead.
And his spell's still active. Yeah.
So I'm going to confidently walk up to the axe, but staying out of range of whack range, just in case this goes poorly. And I say, what we'd like most is to learn about your master and perhaps take his or her story back up to the surface so that they'll be remembered.
Okay.
Can we take a look?
It kind of looks at you for a second, and then you see, like I said, it's the head of the blade. It looks at you, and then looks at the sarcophagus, and then looks back at you, and then it takes a step back. Like, go ahead.
With a confidence born of abject stupidity, I'm just going to walk into the room.
It immediately makes an attack roll at you as soon as you get in range.
God damn it! You can't trust anyone down here
It's like,
these
yeah,
days.
come on in, buddy. You know what I mean? I like how this axe is already proven to be more clever than Maxwell as well. I rolled a 10. It's a miss, but it does swat at you.
I dodge back and yell out, "Dick move, bro! Dick move!"
You see it turn its handle to you and shakes it a little bit, like it's shaking its ass in your direction.
All right, who's got the spell magic? We're killing this thing.
It's an axe. It's just doing what axes do.
Oh yeah, you know a lot of
Maybe
axes that moon you.
Whoever cast the spell obviously had a sense of humor.
Definitely.
You know the spell magic?
Do you know to spell magic?
I don't know the spell magic. I bet who had the spell magic is the dragonborn sorcerer that's no longer with us.
The dragonborn
if only we
wizard.
had a dragonborn wizard.
He would have had to spell magic.
Actually, I think one of those 4 spell books have spell magic in it.
Yeah, but they're spell books, not spell scrolls. We can't really do anything.
Probably do.
Yeah, no,
but
I'm talking about like
not
if he was
usable.
here.
Would be nice, right?
All right.
All right.
New plan.
Does anybody make any sort of attempt, or you guys just gonna sit here and negotiate with the inanimate object more?
There's really no
Instead of
reasoning with this monster.
negotiation, we do something more active. We actually try to attack it.
Yeah, sure. You go try and shake hands with the spectral axe. See how well that works. We can't hit it. See? And I pick up a rock and I throw it at the axe.
You see that it does hit the axe, and it just seems to cause no damage whatsoever. I'm just going to tell you right now, this thing is immune to damage.
I turn back to you and go, gesturing.
Yep.
You know what? Fuck
It
this.
may be a
Knowledge
good
is not worth
prize,
it.
but it's not worth it.
Not
Yeah,
worth
I
it.
mean, we can burn the coffin, the room.
Let's.
No, I don't think.
There's
we can
water.
negotiate
There's
with
water on the floor. Let's just go to the other
No,
part of this crypt,
Alright.
or whatever
But
this place is.
I love
As
this.
soon as we can dispel magic, we're coming back here, and I'm going to ram that spell so far up its ass.
I can't
We'll
wait.
just kidnap somebody that knows the spell and then have them do it for us, okay?
Oh,
make
I
our way
God.
shake
down.
my fist at the axe and say, "You hear that, buddy? You're on borrowed time."
Yeah.
As soon as I find something that hurts you, and I turn around and leave.
It once again turns its the butt of its handle to you, shakes it a little bit, and then goes back over and lays itself back down next to the sarcophagus as you walk away. But it is 10:25. It seems like a good enough place for us to take our quick little break if you guys want to before we move into the next room. I thought we'd clear this dungeon tonight. Holy shit, man. I gotta quit letting you guys get sidetracked. Either way, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break here, guys. We'll be right back with this way. We can go grab drinks and refreshments, anything needed. Take the time to do so yourself. Please visit our Ko-Fi shop while you're there. Check out all the fun, cool ways that you can interact with the game. It is really, it's not only a fun way to interact with the game, but it does support the channel and keeps us having the ability to do this. Without those, support, we couldn't keep these shows going. So please consider to do so while you're there. But yeah, buy them a scroll of Dispel Magic. I tell you what, if somebody donates $20, I'll give them a scroll of Dispel Magic.
I will turn the party around. I will march back there.
$20 donation. I will give them a scroll of Dispel Magic. I want to see what happens when they get in there and find the box is still just empty. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn it. But either way, yeah, right. There's just a bobblehead that says, "Haha, I got you." But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and take our 10-minute break, guys. Go grab a snack, grab some drinks, check out the Ko-Fi page. If you do have a sub, like a Prime sub, toss it our way. Subscriptions are a huge help, guys. Like, subscriptions are 90% of what keeps the channel going. It pays the electric bill, it keeps the internet on, all those things. So subscribe, donate, all those things. All right, I will be back here in 10 minutes, guys. Hang tight, and we will see you when we come back. Hold up. Oh. Alrighty then. Think we are back. Make sure it's got
Hey.
all the volumes undone. There we go. Want to make sure we can hear everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Tales from the Tables, Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus campaign on Tabletop Down. Yeah, the title's getting lengthier, but either way, guys, welcome to the game. Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus is the game that we're playing. The name of my channel here, Tabletop Down, is the name that's where you can find us everywhere online. And the Tales from the Table thing is just a name that we've been using forever, but all of our D&D stuff goes under that, so that should help you guys find us if you want to check us out anywhere on YouTube. Just look for the Tales from the Table playlist, and you'll find all of our previous games, etc. Let's see, I don't want to spend too much time getting into all that stuff. Let's see, it says ad break in 59 seconds. Let me skip that. Can I skip that? There we go. All right. Anywho, let me go ahead and get through our spiel. So, welcome back to Tales from the Table. Like I said, Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. We are just picking up where we left off last time. So, the party had just encountered a spectral weapon. By the looks of it, it appeared to be that of your typical, magic weapon spell that would be summoned by a cleric of some sort, but this one seemed to have a lot longer of a duration, as it stayed for the 20 minutes they decided to play with it. But they finally given up on that, forgone the sarcophagus in its investigation, and are now moving on through the rest of the dungeon. So let's pick up where we were. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see, you guys were just heading towards room 17, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
Let's
closing
see
the
what we
line.
got.
Yep. So, as always,
Yeah, by all.
oh,
That's what
I
I was supposed
open
to
the
say.
door with the shield out front and start to make my way into the room.
Doesn't even check if the door is fucking.
Yeah, do you want to?
Nope. We're
I love
going.
how paranoid you guys are at this point.
We're
It's the way to
we're
go.
going straight in. We're doing this.
All right. So as you enter this next room, that is 17.
If you die, can I have a piece of you to taste?
Can I have a piece of
If I'm dead, I kind of can't really.
This dry, partially collapsed room contains a stone altar with humanoid skulls and bones piled around it. The top of the altar is covered with dozens of half-melted candles made of black wax, all currently unlit. So that's what you see at the moment. It seems like the back half of this room has been collapsed and is falling in like some of the other rooms that you found. But there is a stone altar right here at the beginning. You can see the altar there, of course. There's a stone altar with black candles on it, much like those that you've seen all throughout the dungeon. And several skulls that the wax has melted down over top of.
With my sword still lit, I'd like to try to take a look around the room with the light on my sword to see if there's anything else, anything sticking out about the room that we should be worried about.
Absolutely. Let's see. So taking a quick pass around the room, you see that mixed in along the back where that wall is crumbled in. Not only is there stones, that you see crumbled and smashed in there, but it looks like there was actually several bodies that were also in the wreckage when this wall fell down, and you could still see like an arm hanging out. Of course, it's far beyond living at this point, skeletal, you know what I mean? So you see like a skeletal arm hanging out from between the rocks, things like that. Making your way back around towards the altar itself, you do find something. So let's see.
Just a realization to know that he has to clarify that it's a dead skeletal arm, just in case one of us tries to do something stupid again.
I shake
Right.
its hand.
High five.
Stop touching it!
Now, I'm actually going to spend the time out in the corridor working on gluing my poor defender back together again.
So you are, as you're making your way around, you do see that written on the wall, seemingly in some sort of black charcoal or maybe even the wax from the candles, it says, scrawled onto the wall are the words, "Rise and be counted," or just hastily scrawled into the wall right above and kind of behind the altar.
I dare you to read it out loud.
I'd try to look over to everyone else, see what they're doing at the moment.
Can I
Max is still tinkering.
I'm standing.
Can I
with him.
investigate the altar?
You can. There are several skulls on the altar. There is the wax candles that have been just more or less like stuck in the wax that's dripping all over top of these things. You know what I mean? To make this big amalgamation of skull and black wax, and the candles are currently unlit. Other than that, it seems like everything that's on the altar is kind of on the altar, unless you want to start breaking apart wax and skulls, you know.
Can I light one of the candles?
You can.
I'm gonna
Why?
take a few steps
I got
down
a
the stairs
tinderbox.
here.
You take
Yeah.
Just
you,
one.
you pull
I
out
just want to see if it does anything.
You pull out your flint and tinder, and with a quick strike, you light a candle. And much like the others that you've seen in here, it has a green flame that lights up on top of it. That's it.
Just as I thought. It's green.
But now that you have lit one of the candles, you can see that those words, rise and be counted, that were written on the wall behind, are almost illuminated like they were put under a black light. So he was able to see them since he specifically went around the room with a lit, a light spell, checking everywhere. But once you light those candles, it becomes bright green and illuminates on the wall as if it was, reacting to, to illuminate it, kind of like like a black light would.
How about that?
What happens if you light the rest of them?
What happens if you say the words out loud?
Please. Don't.
If you
I
want
wanna-
to try that stuff with us standing around the corner,
Yeah, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna try to write out the words out loud and see if anything happens.
I'm just gonna.
What
step
happens
into
if you
this
cut
hallway.
your
with this dog.
what happens if you cut your hand and drip a blood offering onto the skull?
Right? See?
As long as we're
Knowledge.
asking
So
ideas.
you
I think it's a good idea to try and activate the altar.
Oh,
So you
Lord.
said that you were going to step around the corner and then mutter the words. Was that what you were saying?
Yes, I'm gonna say the words out loud.
All right.
I'm
What about
staying
the rest of
behind
you
my dog.
guys?
I'm
Where's the
down
dog?
over here. I'm like, no.
I don't
Not
know
dealing
what
with
if I
that.
just keep standing next to me.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
Alejandro, you
say,
may want to move.
Alejandro,
Yeah.
do
That's
you,
not a
do you
good
want
place
to
to
duck
stand,
and
mate.
run with the rest of them?
It's too
Why?
late now.
Why would we do this? Are you here from around the corner? Why?
Let's see.
Knowledge.
For
Alejandro,
science.
were you staying there?
I'm gonna move down.
I kind of figured as much. All right. So as you place yourself kind of here on the corner, you peek your head around, and you can see where the flames are illuminating the words "rise and be counted." So you read these words aloud. You say them into the ether: "Rise and be counted." And as you do, you all hear clacking and clicking of what sounds like bones scattering against a hardwood floor, or I guess a stone floor. And some of you, I guess Maxwell, you'd probably be the only one, Max Numo, maybe you could see it, see that those bones that were mixed into the rubble in the back of the building begin to shamble together and rise into skeletal beings. It takes you a second, Serio. You say the words and you wait and you look to see what's happening. You hear a couple clicks, and as you turn around, you now see that there are 3 skeletal figures that are standing directly behind you, more or less. Let's see. Right there you go. Blow. That have come and they've reassembled and are now standing there, looming as you turn around. What do you guys want to do?
Nobody touched him.
I was saying, are they
Don't you
friendly?
even dare. That's what we're about to find out.
That's what I was about to
Just
ask.
walk around.
Since I summoned them, sort of, they should be some sort of friendly. So we're gonna test this.
Oh Lord.
How do you test that?
That's a good
Toss him a
question.
rock and
Give
say,
it an order.
No, yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm
yeah.
thinking about giving him order. I just need to figure out what kind of order would work real quick.
Walk.
toss
that
the rock.
side.
Get
Yeah.
done.
Well, toss a rock to the ground near him and say, "Pick that up."
Huh.
That way, they aren't moving closer to any of us.
Hmm. Um. Yeah, actually, that is a smart idea. Is there a rock in my area? A small rock in my area? I can.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright,
There's
cool.
there's rocks, there's candles, there's all kinds of things around here.
Half this
Alright.
place is
You-
collapsed.
You throw a stone over in front of him, and as you tell it to pick that up, it kind of looks at you with a dead-eyed face expression. There's no eyes in the sockets, and just goes,
You seem like a good friend.
and then picks up the rock, and then just holds it out.
Hell yeah,
stretched
I made
towards you.
friends.
Oh, okay.
We found our trap testers.
Cool.
Don't say that out
No!
loud.
No, they're my friends. Alright, cool. So I'll tell them to follow us.
Going back to the axe now.
See, I made friends.
I'm not getting within 20 feet of those things.
I just continue walking down into this room as I hear, I made friends.
You all continue on with skeletons in tow.
Hell yeah.
I'm serious. Maxwell's getting no closer than 20 feet to those things. He's still weak to necrotic damage.
Right.
I
What
just
about
made friends.
Numo? How does Numo feel about this? I'm kind of curious how everybody feels about it, because
walk around the other way and and take the long
If they
way
attack
around.
us, I'm throwing you in front of them.
They don't seem stealthy. Is my problem. I think we should scout ahead and keep them behind the lines until we need to sacrifice one.
I mean, this is
Sacrificing my friends.
yeah. I mean, we're already running on a skeleton crew here.
And your
guys
friends
are
are kind of
these
thin
people
on
already.
conversation.
They're my friends. Then. I made friends.
Yeah, well, I got a bone to pick with your friends.
Oh wow.
As they're
No,
doing that,
you
I'm just
did
gonna
not.
calmly start
Yes.
to walk through this room to see if there's anything in here.
yeah. If you begin moving forward, I was kind of curious how everybody was reacting to it. Let's see. So you begin moving forward into the next section. That's 18. So, let me take a look as to where you're actually at on the map here.
18.
18.
Look, all I gotta say is I made a friend.
You
and I'm
begin
very
splashing
proud
through
of
it, and
that
it seems like a larger. Okay, so this appears to be a large antechamber. You can see the beams that are holding this currently up. It seems like this may have once been a place for a meeting hall or a dining area. There is wreckage of old scrap wood that you could see laying at the floor. On the floor, mixed amongst the water that is up to ankle to knee height in places. And the smell of rotten eggs is strong within this room as it just penetrates your nose with a heavy stench. But you definitely would, you know what I mean? It seems empty other than the scraps of wood that are around your feet. Again, like I said, maybe previously at one point this was a dining area or something to that effect. But yeah, you smell a strong stench that's in the room. It would be akin to that of rotten eggs.
I would like to peek up past this wall over here to make sure that top right corner is also nothing really over there.
Gotcha. Yeah, taking a look over in that section, it seems to have maybe previously been a kitchen area. You can see a stove, like a stone stove that was built into the wall and once chimneyed out where it's collapsed, but is now fallen in. You can barely see pieces of the stove. But again, you still get that strong, disgusting smell all the way through this area. Hey, Maxwell, you still carrying
Yes.
that candle?
Yes. I never give up a free candle. Oh no.
More
So
No.
as you enter this room, something strange happens. you feel
Oh,
a
no.
small bit of warmth rise up.
And it's
Let's
not
see
me peeing
here.
myself?
I need
Oh, no.
everyone in the room to make a dexterity saving throw. Anyone that's anywhere.
Hi, guys.
That's including the skeletons. Allie, let me see if I can help you out here with your character. Do you know how to add extras to your character sheet?
No.
I
Do I need
got
to?
you. I got you. Check this
I
out.
would like to use my advantage here for my.
Five, please.
They
All right.
they were a bunch of cowards anyway.
Oh, they're
All
my
right.
friends.
There we go. We're back.
Well, look at them. They're completely gutless.
Siriel, if you look at your character sheet now, where you have your actions, spells, inventory, etc., there is a
Yeah.
tab that says extras. I'm also going to need you to make 3 rolls, 3 dex rolls for your skeletons as well. So yeah, everybody's rolling their dex saves. Let's see, dexterity
so I need to
save. We
roll
got a
3
7,
more.
10, 6, 2. Oh, you okay? First skeleton was 16.
No. I used an advantage on that.
Okay, that was
Yeah, that
advantage
was
for yourself.
Yeah, I'm about to roll for my first skeleton.
Skellies.
No.
Oh boy.
2 for first skelly boy.
In terms of backup, we have no backup.
16. Okay.
Okay, 216, 216.
And a
And
19.
a
Okay.
19. All right, so
Well,
2
we-
of them pass, 1 of them fails. So looking down through the checks, here's what it looks like I have. I have a 19 for Vanril. Is that right?
Yep.
All right, 16 for Maxwell. You still took the reroll and got lower.
No,
Let's see.
the second roll is my steel
Oh,
defender.
the steel defender. You're right. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes more sense. I was like, why would you re-roll with a 16? That's a pretty good roll. All right, so 16, 13 for him. Let's see. 6 for Numo. Numo re-rolled and
And
got a
with
10.
reroll.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So you got a 10, and Alejandro got a 7. And then re-rolled for a 6. Okay. If you got less than 15, you suffer some fire damage as this entire room ignites in a giant poof of energy as that candle reaches the methane gas that was building up in this room. Allow me to roll some dice here.
Imagine not touching something for once.
Hey man,
I didn't even
touch
Ollie,
anything
touch because I
he
just
didn't
had
even
a
touch anything
candle.
on that one. Didn't even
My
touch
backup
anything with that
lighting
one.
option is a little fire lighter. That would have set it off too.
All right, it rolled twice, and luckily for you guys, I rolled like total dog shit. I rolled 3 ones on 4 dice. But I rolled 40.
Okay.
I rolled 46, and you got a 7. So you guys each take if you rolled less than 15. So Alejandro, or sorry, no, not Alejandro. Which one was it? Vanril and
skellies.
Maxwell, you're fine, and 2 of the skeletons are fine. You do still take half as much on a fail. Sorry, I guess I should have said that.
Okay.
So it's either 7 or 3. We'll call it 3. So yeah, take 7 damage if you rolled less than a 15. Take 3 damage if you rolled above a 15. And you can, I know you can't mark the individual skeletons, but just keep track that 2 of them are down so many hit points. The other one's down 7. You know.
2 of them are
I
down
look
3 hit points.
around.
One of them is down 7.
Are they like dead?
No,
How much health do those things have?
13.
13. Okay, gotcha. All right, so
All
one of them,
right.
yeah, 2 of them are down to 10. One of them's down to 5.
I look around solemnly post explosion and say, on the plus side, I think I've confirmed that there's no traps in here anymore.
Yeah, that's true. You guys look back at him as he says this, and he's just standing there holding an extinguished candle.
I just
a
continue
little
trudging
tiny wisp of smoke rolls off
through
the end
this-
of it.
just sort of trudging through it, just splash, with armor
Okay.
on, just shaking my head.
Actually, hang on
Now-
1 second. Maxwell
No
does not
additional
relight the
gas
candle
will
and he
not
just puts it
hold over
away.
flames.
just chooses not to light the candle.
I had to see if he was going to do that.
Theoretically, it could happen again. As you begin to leave, that smell does start to come back, that's for sure. But I'm assuming that all of you move on. I am not going to make you move every skeleton on the board. But what
I
I'll do
can't
is
move them.
that's what I was about to say. I'm going to give you control over one of these. Let's see.
I got friends.
You want me to take lead now? Shall we start being sneaky again?
I mean, we
No.
just had an explosion. I don't think. I think
Sneaky's gonna
anything
cut
down
it.
here just heard a loud boom.
Oh yes, somehow I forgot that.
Yeah, you
Never
heard an
mind,
explosion.
carry on.
You ever been blown up?
If you want
hard
to go in
yet?
front, be my guest. But
So the interesting part is, have you ever heard a lot of like gas take off like that? It would make a big woof sound,
Yeah, it doesn't
but
even make
like
it
it
echo.
wouldn't be
Well, no.
that bad, really. So like it might have shook the room a little bit, you know what I mean? And you'd have felt just like a woof as it hit you, but it may not have made it like too giant of an explosion, but you definitely feel like at least several rooms off, they probably heard you. That's for sure.
if
Question:
you want to
What
go
if
in
we
front,
what if we give
Uh,
one of the skeletons a torch and we send him out ahead?
No!
she's not gonna let that happen.
I love that. That's where it's at.
Who cares more about them than us?
I
She
actually
very
No!
much
noticed that.
does.
I need them to stay with me as long as possible because then I get to learn about them and I want to study them a bit more. So you're not
should
touching
be-
them.
Yeah,
You should
you
be
can
able
see
to
how
move.
fire resistant they are.
You should be able to
No.
move that one that's with you. And as you guys approach up onto this next room, you do enter a hallway with 3 doors on your right, one on the end. And like I said, it seems to be a row of what would seem like cells. But taking a look in the first room that you can kind of peek into there, as the door is partially ajar on it, it seems to be another area where sarcophagus may have been previously. But that room in specific, the wall has fallen in. Most of the room is filled with debris, broken stone, and a crushed sarcophagus that was half sticking out in the back. The next 2 doors are closed.
So, anyone want to go in these rooms? We have 3 of them here. Look like more dead.
More friends?
Could be
I
spiritual
send in my
humors.
scout.
Sending your scout to look in through the first one. It rummages around a little bit, but doesn't seem to spot anything right off. What are you looking for in general? Like I said,
Well,
most
actually,
of
I'm
this
just
room
looping
is
him in
like
circles.
gotcha. Most of this room is just totally rubble. Like half the room is completely filled. You can see part of the stone sarcophagus that was once in the back of this room, but it's completely buried in this first room, to the best of your ability to tell.
I recall and I dispatch him into the next room to go
Oh.
stand around and see if he can set off any pressure plates.
Okay, as you pop open this door, you see very much the same thing, but the back half of this room is still intact, and there is a rather large stone sarcophagus in it. Let's see. North-facing side of the sarcophagus bears a faded fresco of spear-wielding warriors charging across golden plains on horseback. So you would see that as you take a look at the front of the sarcophagus, like a mural that's been etched into the side of it.
Hey guys, come take a look at this. It looks interesting.
I will hold the front. It's sort of just like
I will tell him to put his hands in his pocket.
no, I just hold the shield, make sure nothing comes out the front door as they're going to investigate, so nothing comes up behind us because
Yeah,
we
fair
don't
enough.
want to.
Yeah, keeping an eye
Nothing's
on
gonna
that
come
one
up behind
side.
us. I'm standing there with my skelly
Lots of
friends.
skeletons. The skeleton
makes-
behind us.
Makes good sense. Let's see.
They're
Taking
my
a look
personal
in.
protection team now, okay? Because I'm always on the rear. So, you know.
No, I'm talking about the
protection.
front. There's the other door in front of us. 2 doors in
Eh,
front of us.
That's a you problem. You're the tank.
Yeah, you guys got each
Are
side of
these
that hallway
sarcophagus
covered.
empty?
Taking a look at this one, there is a lid that has been partial or shoved aside, like it's on a 45-degree angle, and it does look like at some point somebody had tried to pillage this room. You know what I mean? Um, but you do still see that there is a bone, a skeletal remains inside of the sarcophagus, wearing what appears to be nice, like ceremonial black robes, where that he was buried in.
I take a closer peek, glancing in the coffin.
All right, taking a
Looks
closer peek.
good.
If you could give me an investigation
axe
check,
come from?
please.
No poking.
No touchy touch.
18. Nice. Taking a look at the like into the actual sarcophagus itself, you would realize that it seems that the bottom of the sarcophagus is not made of the same material as the remainder of the sarcophagus. It's a little bit lighter in color. It's, you know, you can see a slight discoloration where it seems that this thing has a false bottom in it.
Ah, just like a Kardashian. A false bottom. All right. I turn to the others and relay, hey, this thing's got like a hidden compartment underneath Bonesy Malone here.
Nobody wants you to touch
Do
it.
you want me to touch it or do you want to touch it?
Oh, I'm going to touch it. I'm just warning everyone to get out of the blast radius. And I turn
All right.
over, and with the assistance of RoboPup, I, as carefully as possible, examine around the body to see if there's any like pressure plate, any kind of trap setup.
Okay. With your 18 investigation, taking a look around, from the best you could tell, it does not seem to be trapped. You're not seeing anything there. It seems that they thought this false bottom would have been enough to hide anything. Anything that would have been here, like on the body, if it had any jewelry, you could tell it's already been stripped. But whoever had previously looted this room missed the false bottom.
All right, so I carefully scoop out the body, trying to keep it in as big one piece as possible, and set it on the, looks like the remains of the lid, and then I'm going to examine the false bottom to see if there's, how do I pull it up?
So the body inside of here, as you pick it up and pull it out, and go to sit it down, it does begin to break and shift apart a little bit. And wedged in its chest cavity, you notice a small satchel directly in like the inside of it that had also been missed, and it's just a small little bag, 1 inch by 2 inch, small little draw bag. And then as you sit down the body, you find that, and as you turn around, and with your help and the steel defender, you know, digging at the bottom of this thing, you're able to pop through and realize it's only about a 16th of an inch of plaster that makes a thin bottom to hold the weight, and you're able to bust through that and find that there is a small section underneath of it that is also like, I apologize. You find a small compartment underneath that contains 2 potions of healing
Oh,
and 2 moonstones worth 50 gold apiece.
Okay, you go.
Yeah, right?
I carefully extricate the items, and then, as carefully as possible, I place the skeleton and his robes back inside, and I attempt to arrange cleric.
Yep.
No
Oh,
clue
there
what
he is.
happened there. I disconnected for a sec. No clue what happened to that
All
one.
right. He swapped the arms and legs of the corpse, so Serial wouldn't revive it.
And then I put the feet on backwards.
Nice.
Yep.
Reassemble it a little bit. Make it a little different.
This guy's
You-
good.
You're absolutely
You
able to
realize
do
I
that,
could
man.
just put it back in place, right?
Well, you don't know what you don't know what's happened. You're still in the back of the hallway.
Vanroll, while you are keeping forward guard and watching
that's
that
okay.
room, you begin to hear something coming from this room here. You begin to hear moaning. You're an adult.
Oh my.
It kind of sounds like that.
Oh,
I
It
wanna go
kind of
towards
sounds
the door.
put your
and
ear up
listen.
there, and you definitely hear like
Ye-
a groaning. You know. If you want
Somebody's
to give
having
me
a wild
a
party there.
perception or investigation, whichever you want to do there.
Perception. 18.
With
See, I
an
told you these dice are
18,
better than my old one.
You take a second listen, and what you first thought to maybe be moans of pleasure now seem just to be moans of not even pain, but just a continuous.
No, that sounds
I
about
sort-
like a moan of pleasure.
I lean
Yeah, it's
back
close.
around the lean back around the corner of the hallway and go, "We got some undead in here." Trying to whisper
It's-
out towards the closest one.
It's the chosen undead dying from Dark Souls.
Comes running around the corner.
You were okay. Just full on sprint. I don't think this one's gonna be friendly.
I mean, it's worth a try.
If you want, all right. I look at the door, make sure it looks fine, and I start to open it.
Start opening the door.
And he's a
Okay.
front,
Yep.
dude. That's the best part.
Yeah. Taking a listen in or a look inside, 6 moaning humans with rotting flesh shamble about this dusty crypt, which reeks of death. An
I
open
slammed the door
stone
shut.
Don't you? Not even gonna finish the rest. There you go. Yeah,
I slammed the door shut.
that's exactly it.
We're locking this door somewhat. I take
I
out the
just
rope out
shove
of
him
my pouch.
outside on the side. Like, shit.
Oh, hang on. What's in there, guys?
There's 6 of them in there. I don't want to deal with that.
Alright, I'm
Yeah,
shoving him
What
aside.
were they doing?
They're undead. I don't know. They were just shambling there. I don't
That-
want to take our. Okay. You know
I'm
what?
gonna-
I'll stay.
I'm gonna open the door
I have an
carefully.
oil flask.
Hang on. What about we send the other skeletons in because maybe they know each other since they're all skeletons.
See, thank you.
God.
Oh,
I don't think it works that way. I also think we just got banned from Twitch.
I opened the door
I'm saying the same
carefully.
thing might have risen both of them.
Right.
Yeah, it might have.
Right.
You never know.
Let's see. So, what is it that is actually happening here?
Sorry, what were the words again that I said earlier? Rise again? Or something?
And be counted.
Rise and be counted.
Yes. That was it. Rise and be counted.
Not rise and serve. Rise and be counted?
Yes.
Rise and be counted.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
That's
I
what it
open the
said.
door and I peek my head around the corner and I want to observe if I can make out if these are like friendlies or not so friendlies.
Okay. Well, so he opened the door and then closed it. You come
he slammed
back
it shut.
and open it, right?
I open it a little bit just so I can peek inside. I'm not gonna open it full open because I'm not stupid.
All right. I need you to make a strength check.
Oh,
Give me
good
strength, strength athletics.
Maybe the door's just heavy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's 18.
We have keys.
18. As you go to
Not locked.
crack the door open a little bit, or to push it open as it opens into that room, you go to push it open, and it immediately is pushed back. As you can tell that these creatures have piled up on the other side and are trying to push their way through this door. You now find yourself holding it as kind of like there's a mix between you holding it and the door holding it, and the door begins starting to creak and crack.
I think you pissed them off.
I think they were already upset at us.
But then you slammed the door. I would say step away. And,
Yeah, if you let go of the door, it slams shut as they're pressed against it. But you can definitely see that they are starting to rip the door apart as pieces of it start coming off, and you can hear the sound of bone and claw, like nail, scratching at the other side of the wooden door.
I yell,
outrun them if
stand
we all go
down.
now.
No, actually, I don't yell that actually because I have a friend with me. I can't do that. Oh,
Sorry, what was it?
I mean,
nah, we're good.
okay. So, in that case, we're looking at the door. All right, let's get in position for this then, I guess, or we're gonna try to run through because we have to come back this way anyways. If they're breaking down this door.
How long does it look like the door will hold?
About 5 more seconds.
So not enough time to cast mending.
If you guys wanted to, you could try. Well, I mean, you could. Yeah, I was gonna say actually no. Mending takes a minute to cast. It would take too long.
Yeah.
Well, I stand right in the front.
Yeah, you've got a couple of seconds before they burst down the door, so it's either run or prepare. Which one do you guys go for?
I'm just gonna
I
move
go up to our
Ball
paladin.
bearings by the door.
I'm just gonna move back.
Ball bearings, nice.
Then I'll step
Yeah,
over
so
here. Then if
Benro,
you
you
up at the
want to
ball
step
bearings.
back?
There.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drop them there.
Okay.
Hey, paladin.
Yeah.
There you go. I pat you on the
Nice.
shoulder and cast heroism.
3 temp.
I can just see
So
it now.
you
He,
get
he
3
walks
temp.
up. He says, "Don't worry, you've got this," and then walks right past you, leaving you with heroism. Don't worry.
So what
you've got
it
this.
means is you're now immune to being frightened, and every single turn you gain 3 temporary hit points, which refresh.
Oh,
Nice.
hell yeah. Immune.
You are heroic at this point. In that
Yeah.
case, you guys prepare as the onslaught comes. What else? Okay, so Maxwell, you cast heroism. Numo, you drop ball bearings. What are the other 3 of you doing?
I'm going to quickly heal myself for the rest of my health.
I look at my
Okay.
skeletons and be like, defend us.
Okay, you put all 3 skeletons out there to defend?
Absolutely not. I put the one down there with the 6 HP.
The weakest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
His job is to provide moral support.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The one that's battered up, and you're like, you defend us.
So you
Yes.
stick one down there to defend you. And Alejandro, what about you, sir?
I'm going to move down. And ready.
All right.
Ready in action? Okay, crossbow, I assume?
I'll do a crossbow.
Okay, that works. And Vanril, what is your plan of attack?
As soon as soon as they come through, since there's a skeleton right in front, I want to see if anything happens when they get onto the ball bearings, and if one goes down, or whichever one gets out front, I'm just gonna start swinging at whenever they start getting through. That's all I can really do.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. Just check this real quick. Forgot to have there. Forgot to put this one in. 6 of them in the room. I don't know how much health they have. There we go. That's what I was after. All right. They got some decent health. In that case, as this door busts open, you're the first to act. So you said you were also, I apologize, readying an attack, Vanril?
Yeah, whenever they get through.
Okay.
My new friends are pretty.
Yeah. In that case, so the first one comes busting through the door, and as it does, it has another one that's crawling over top of it, so they're kind of scattering over top of each other. But as they make their way into the actual floor, fall, and go to get back up, they start scattering ball bearings that go everywhere underneath of their feet, and you find that they are having a hell of a time keeping themselves up. Anyone that is within melee range will get advantage on any attacks made against them. As far as that goes, there is a skeleton, Numo, and Vanril that should all 3 go ahead and get attacks, I guess.
All right.
Is this a readied action? Like, would I be able to move up and hit him?
Oh, well.
Yeah. I assume that you were standing there at the door. I wasn't counting the one space, but yeah, that's fine. I'm just more or less willing to see how much damage goes out in that first initial round. So nice, natural 20,
and then
on Vanril.
That would be a 1d8 plus 3, so 12. I'll expend one of my things for whatchamacallit, smite for this as well, just to See how many I
Okay.
can hit down.
An additional
So it's
12
gonna be
on that
2.
one.
And one more. There we go. Because it was undead.
Oh, okay.
So
That's 12
2d8
So-
plus.
And this would have also been critical too. So if you were putting a smite on that, it would become a part of the critical hit.
Oh, so
I
that'd
assume.
be 2.
So let's see. First roll was 8 plus 3, essentially. Well, so you rolled a 1, you have plus 2 on the
Yeah.
attack, so it would have been 8 plus 3. That would have been
Then
11,
8.
and then you're going to have 16 right off the bat. Go ahead and roll me 2 more d8s. Well, actually, no, fuck, you rolled 8s. You would have got 8 on the, so 16, 16, 32.
Yeah.
32 plus 11, you would be doing 43 damage. Is my math right on that?
Okay.
Shit, buddy.
Yeah. So
You don't need my scally friend. Can I have him
that's
back?
a lot. Well, I was
Do
going
I
to say,
need to keep
go
rolling my hit?
yeah, go ahead and keep rolling yours. You might be able to just get through all of them as they come out. As I was just allowing the melee to go first. 17
Okay,
would
so I
definitely
got
be a hit.
12 and then a 17.
If you want to go ahead and roll damage.
Did
Let's
the 12
see,
hit?
12 and 17. The 12 would have hit. Yeah, these things are easy to hit as far as that goes. They don't defend themselves at all. So both those would have been a hit. 5 damage plus 6. So that's 16 damage. Does that sound right to you?
Yep.
All right, yeah, 16 damage as you come into it. So 16 on top of 43. That's already 59, some shit like that. Skeleton. Do you know how to make the skeleton make an attack through
Yeah,
the extras section?
I rolled a 10.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
Oh, and I think I
Oh
also
yeah,
get
there it
advantage,
is.
too,
Awesome. 10 would be a hit.
if they're on the ball bearings, right?
Yes, you would have had advantage on the attack roll. Correct. Yeah, go ahead and roll just in case you get a critical on it.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Yep.
roll with advantage because I couldn't do that.
And that would be
there,
for
so I
both
just-
attacks. So yeah, good. Go ahead and
Yeah.
roll again.
Yeah,
See,
okay.
either get 20s. Oh, nope.
All right, that would have
We're
been a
good.
natural. Okay, so the 10 does still hit though. If you wanted to get the
Yeah.
initial damage on
Yeah.
that was 3. Okay.
That.
Numa, if you want to roll 2 more times.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Regular first 2 still hit. None of them are critical. Alejandro, if you could throw one. Alejandro had one, and I think Max, you had something ready to dwell as well, right? You two would
My
be
ready
next.
was just casting the heroism.
Oh, okay, that's right. All right. Yeah, Alejandro, if you want to go
I'm
make
gonna
your
And it
hold.
attack
seems to
roll.
work.
I don't really have a shot, so I'm going to hold until I have a
Oh,
shot.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I think as these things come pouring out, you've already done enough damage to kill 4 of them. So I'm pretty much just gonna say that these guys, as they come pouring out, you just keep crushing through them. There's no reason to roll initiative for two zombies. But one thing that you do notice is that you cut through them the first time, they do begin shambling back up and getting back up, even though they were completely dead. You know what I mean? They start to
Radiant
stand
damage?
back up. Radiant would prevent that. So yeah, you're right. First, I think. Anyway, let me double check. It's been a while since I dealt with zombies. Unless the damage is radiant, you're right. Unless the damage is radiant or from a critical hit. So in that case, never mind. Yeah, at least the first 4 of them would stay down. The second 2 try to get back up, but you can quickly just jab something through their brain and they stop getting up. Yeah, there's no reason to roll initiative for that. So I said, you guys had the round, you know what I mean? As far as that goes, you had plenty of time to prepare, so I wasn't going to make you roll for
I
that.
wanted more friends.
But yeah, you have 6 dead zombies at your feet, and you can definitely now hear from where you're at moaning again, coming from directly ahead of you. This doesn't sound like sex or like zombies, but instead like someone panicked, scared, but you just hear moaning, not words.
Panicked and scared.
Maybe-
I'm running in.
I would say with heroism, with that activated, that's the
We're
first
running
thing I'm
in.
probably gonna do as well.
Okay,
Like, I got
Yep.
my friends. I can run in.
the 2 of you burst.
I trail
in
along to keep
to
that
the
armor
next-
safe.
If
Okay.
you run into mine, knock knock.
Yeah, you go bursting into this next room, kind of panic to see what has taken place in there. And you see that there is what appears to be a torture chamber that lays in front of you.
Honey,
The
I'm home.
walls and floor of this room are covered with streaks and splashes of dried blood. Two dangling bodies are shackled to the east and south walls. One is an elderly male, and the other a young female tiefling. Both are covered in bloody gashes, and neither is moving. In the middle of the room is a sturdy wooden chair with a bloody whip draped over it, and a bucket half filled with salt sits nearby on the floor.
I
I want
immediately
to do a
run over
medicine check on the person hanging closest to me.
and same with the
Okay.
one closest to me. I was going to go over there and just seeing if they're alive at first.
Absolutely.
pick
Go ahead
up
and
the
give me
whip.
medicine checks, guys. You're gonna pick up the whip. It's
I'm
it's
gonna
a
pick up the.
bloody, nasty whip. It
I'm gonna
smells
start
awful,
cleaning it.
and you can make it clean. Nice. That is true.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
Well-
see.
I don't know if they're alive or dead.
Yeah, Allie. So as far as Seriel's individual, you go to the male and begin checking him to see if he's still alive. He is expired. That person is most certainly dead.
In a panic for not knowing which one, I'm just going to immediately cast healing on them without knowing, just in a panic.
Oh, okay. I was going to say you go right ahead.
Yeah, I was going to do 5 points onto them of healing hands, just in a panic.
Yeah, you're not sure if they're alive or dead. There's such a weak, faint heartbeat that you're not sure if you're feeling your own or not. You begin casting hit points into them, and their eyes do open. A woman
Oh, no.
opens, takes a look around the room. Well, takes a look around the room. She is gagged, by the way, and that's who you were hearing groaning.
Yeah.
So you would hear her, notice her, take a look around the room, and then begin trying to frantically talk through the gag.
Yeah, I immediately rip it out. That's the first thing I do is just like
Ugh.
rip out the gag.
Oh God! I've told you everything. Don't hit me.
No.
I told you everything.
And that's whenever he would sort of have his eyes, have the radiant yellow in it for a moment. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't know if she finds that comforting or not, but I guess she
I'll
might.
walk-
Yeah, I was gonna say.
it's
I was
yellow,
about to
but it's
say,
not like
I'll walk up to her and
because
I'll
I just cast. Yeah,
I
'cause I
want
was
to check
casting,
how her wounds
so.
are doing.
You have 3 skeletons hovering around your
Yeah.
shoulder.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Exactly. Since
That's
I'm-
fine.
yeah.
No, listen, it's fine. We're just gonna get her off the wall. First things first, get her off the wall, get her wounds treated, and then she can panic.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say. So, Vanderl, as you tell her to be calm, I need you to give me a persuasion check. We'll handle the events in the order that they happen.
Yeah, let's see. Persuasion.
I like scaring people.
16.
16. She does begin to
Nice.
calm down and even allows you to help start to get her down. I was about to say, she's shackled to the wall. So, like, she's actually, like, metal shackles.
Well,
so
somebody
these
has a
are,
ring with keys.
These
Yeah,
are
so
bound
that's
around her
That's
wrist.
a snake.
She does
I'm like-
begin to calm down until she sees the skeleton and then winces and starts kicking again. But seems confused as to whether or not you're here to help or hurt her. She has no idea.
Miss,
Yeah,
if you
that's
calm
when
down, we can help you. But if you keep kicking like that, it's going to be really hard for us to get you off the wall and get your wounds looked after.
Fair enough. If
I
you
sort
want to
of-
give me a persuasion roll as well, but do so with disadvantage, as now there's 3 skeletons looming over your shoulder while you do it.
Oh,
Well, that's a 7.
Yeah, she begins pulling her face back as far as she can, trying to move herself, but she knows that she can't get away. Technically, she's shackled to the wall, but she's doing everything she can to stay away from you. Struggle when able.
Yeah, I pull out the keys and I look at them like, let's see if one of these can get you out of here. All right.
Yeah.
Just,
You begin
Never the
starting to
first
try the different
If I-
keys.
If I look at her, how badly injured is she still?
She's been lashed and beaten multiple times. You can see that where there are cuts in her body, from where she's been hit with this whip, you would also see burn marks, essentially, where it looks like this salt was rubbed into each of their wounds and then left to fester and dry. So
Ow.
even though the wounds are
Uh,
technically clean, because of that, they look horrible, and she will be scarred for the rest of her life for sure. You know what I mean? These are bad looking wounds. I mean, as far
Yeah.
as the 5 hit points he pumped back into her, you think that's probably as good as she's going to get, as far as that goes, but the rest is just going to take time. Um,
I
yeah, I think a commoner has 5 HP, so like, yeah, she's back
Yeah.
to full health,
oh, yeah.
but the wounds look grotesque, so she's going to take a while to heal. Most of them
I'm
have closed
just
over though.
gonna step in my corner so he can deal with her, so don't scare her more.
Yeah, so I start testing each of the key, and like as I'm just testing the key, see if any of them work. I'm like, okay, what's your name, Miss? I'm trying to just try to make small talk just to make it calm her down a little bit, so she doesn't run
Right.
off directly into somewhere to get herself killed.
Fair enough. It takes a minute, and as Siriel takes a step back, and she sees that you're trying to help, everybody seems to be doing the right things. She, other than no clue why the skeletons are there, type of deal. She's probably seen worse since being down here, though. But as you do try to calm her, she does come down a little bit, and when you finally do find a key that fits in that manacle, it does unlock, and you're able to get the first one off. As you get the first one off and begin working on the second, she mutters out slowly, "My name's Vanessa. I don't. I. Are you here to kill me? Please just kill
No.
me.
No,
If you're
no,
going
No,
to
we're
torture
here to
me
get you
again,
out of
just
here.
kill me instead.
No one is here to kill you.
If you mean that, then get me out of here."
We are
And
doing everything we can.
yeah, it's about that time. The second one
Yep.
comes
In the meantime,
off,
I
and
just
she comes
instruct
dropping
my
off the wall.
my lovely minions to keep watch over the fucking door
I
where I
Okay.
don't know who's standing there next to me.
Have the skeletons guard the door ahead. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once she comes off the wall, she goes to land on her feet for the first time in you're not sure how long.
Yeah.
And she kind of falls and stumbles like right into you to where you can catch
Yeah.
her. And after a few seconds, she does regain control of her legs, but you can tell that the blood flow's been pretty rough. She's rubbing her arms, holding them, her wrists, and things like that, and then begins starting to pat at her wounds. Seeing that they're closed over now, thanks to the magical healing you gave her, but they definitely still seem to be bothering her. And she would begin to tell you, "My name's Vendetta Cress. I don't know what they wanted from me. They seem to be interested in the Othones. The people I work for. I told them whatever they wanted to know. I didn't care, but they still cut me. You've got to get me
The
out
old
of here."
man. The old man. Does he work for the Orthones too?
No, oh God, they killed him. I was here, I watched it, I heard it. I was blindfolded at the time. He said he worked for the Jasso family. He said something to do with he coordinated caravans for the Jasso family.
That's
Those
the
of
name
you
of the
that,
merchant.
yeah, I was about to say, there you go. You would
Yeah.
know that the merchant you found earlier was also named Jasso as well. She said she would go further as to say they questioned him about where they keep their money and how they travel with their goods. They seemed as if they were going to rob it or steal something from them, but I don't know. I heard the screams after that, and then it all went silent. I knew then he was dead. I thought I was next.
Well, not if we can help it, miss.
All right.
I did tell them about the Othuns. I shouldn't have, but I don't care about their money. I wanted to make sure to survive.
Nobody here is judging you, miss.
if you guys want to secure this area, I can get her back towards the entrance and get her out of here.
I deliver wine for a
sounds good.
living. I'm not used to such vicious attacks. I don't know what I've done. But yeah, she begins just talking and muttering as you escort her back out, I assume.
What
Yep,
family did she work for, you say?
Sorry, what was that?
What family did she work for?
The Othuns. Oathoon. Othun Patriar. Patriar.
Ooh. We have some friends.
Hey! Tide full of dreams, man. Welcome. Thank you very much, man. Super appreciate the raid. 1 second here. Let me make sure to give a shout out to this guy real quick. Let's see. Tide. What was the name again? Tide Pool of Dreams. Nice. There you go, man. Shout out to this guy. Thank you guys for joining our stream, and those of you that are on my end, make sure to give him a follow. Super
Already
appreciate that. Ooh.
Already did.
Let's see if I can get over there and get one real quick while I'm at it. Yeah, definitely appreciate that, man. Thank you guys for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Hopefully you enjoy the stream. I'll say we got about another 30 minutes or so left here before we end up for the night, but hopefully you guys come in, check it out, and enjoy what you see, man. Thank you. But yeah, so as you escort this woman from the shackles that she was in back to the front, she mutters a lot to herself. You take her, how far do you take her, by the way? I mean, you take her, of course, all the way back. You know that you've cleared that area.
Yeah,
But
all the
you
way
take her back to the door, or do you actually take her through the door that you know leads into the bathhouse?
I take her up to the door, because I hand her I hand her 5 silver like I did the last one. It's like there. If they ask for payment, here's the payment to get through the bathhouse
That is
for
fucking
whatever reason.
hilarious. There's just some woman that comes
Treat
out of the
yourself.
massage parlor covered in blood. You know what I mean? Lash marks and
I mean, she
beaten.
would be able to get a good bath and cleaning it going at that point as
You
well.
guys
Yeah,
aren't sure exactly what time of day it is though anymore. It might be night, might be
Oh,
day.
true, it is
You've
night.
rested. Well,
Actually,
obviously
yeah.
you've rested and taken time, so like you're not even sure what time of day it is 100%. You've been
That's
down
fine.
She
here
gets
for like
arrested
2
for
days.
trespassing.
Actually, at that point, yeah, I'm probably gonna walk her out, thinking it might actually be a bit later.
I was about to say, according to my math, I think it should be sometime in the wee hours of the morning. So if you actually take a peek outside of the secret door, it does appear to be nighttime, and this place seems to be abandoned for the most part. So if you let her out, she thanks you and swears that she will make sure to make good on this if she can at some point. She says to visit her at any of the taverns. They can all find her. She delivers wine through the taverns, or to most of the taverns in the city. She specifically names the the elf song and a few others that you would have heard, but says, to look her up and she will, try to thank you in any way that she can. But
Remembering that they mentioned, what is it, they come here at night, I'm just gonna walk out at least to the front, like towards out the main 2 doors out from the building, just to make sure, like, where would I be?
okay, give me a perception check.
Yeah. And also, but yeah, I was gonna say one more thing that I did remember. I was gonna use let's see, what does that spell? Let me do the perception real quick. But I was also gonna use divine sense. Let's see, actions, divine sense. You can detect, yeah.
Fae, fiend, celestial, undead,
Yep.
etc. Okay, cool.
As I walk
So
up
you
that way.
cast that and you roll 12 on perception. So walking her out to the gates, you don't see anything. It seems to be a quiet night. You can hear cobblestones being walked across and wagons being dragged throughout the city. It's Baldur's Gate. It never sleeps. It's like New York, right? But it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on in this area. And as she gets outside of the, gates, she thanks you again and takes the 5 silver. She offers it back in case you want it.
I sort of just shake my head. You probably need it more than I do at the moment.
She just, without even thinking, just clutches it back. It's the only thing she has on her other than her ripped up clothes. And she thanks you again and begins making her way down the road, back to
Yep.
wherever, she needs to go. But yeah, she does thank you heavily before leaving.
Yeah.
And as you turn around and start making your way back in, you stop in the courtyard for a second and cast your Divine Sense ability. And you
Yep.
absolutely do pick up on that of a fiend in the area. Yeah, you would pick up the, I don't think it gives you the direction or number or anything like
Let me
that.
see.
I believe it just tells you whether or not there is or isn't.
You know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet.
Really? This one's slightly more powerful than the one I was thinking of then. I think I'm thinking of the hunter's ability. In that case, you would be able to pinpoint it to the top corner of the building where you're getting a definite sense of fiend emanating back your direction.
So in other words, your ass has been seen. Just kidding.
I kind of I look up. Let's see. I want to use, was it my channel divinity to use my, was it optional thing to regain a spell slot?
Okay.
Harness divine. Yeah, was it harness divine power? Yep. And I want to look in it directly at that spot and use my command word. Where is it? Spells.
My command word is banana.
Yeah, I like to use command to try to tell it to approach.
Approach. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do something here.
Someone's gonna die. Da, 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 da. And I'm not there to save your ass this time, so if you die, you die. You're done for.
Yeah.
Besides, I got now 3 new friends. I don't need you anymore. I still want to know how
You
you
guys
taste.
And it needs to make a wisdom saving throw, right?
Yep, up 12. Which is not horrible, but
A demon lord slowly comes out of the shadows.
Right.
well, shit.
Interesting. So as you do so, you see a shimmer that kind of washes over it for a split second, and in front of your eyes apparates a small little creature that looks like that. So you see the small winged little man, almost. I don't know if you guys can see that in the chat or not. Did that go through?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. There we go. So you see a small winged little man with a scorpion tail that's currently looking at you, and it does approach you. And as it, how long does command last? It's just a single word command, right?
It for a full turn, so
Okay. It approaches, and as you see it kind of shaking its head a little bit, trying to realize what it's doing, it kind of almost backs up for instinctively as it gets to you once it completes the command,
Yep, and I know I kind of can't capture this thing, but I don't want to go raising alarms anywhere, so I will immediately attack it.
Okay.
Because of that.
Make an attack roll against it.
See.
Rolls in that one.
I would like to use one of my advantages. Just to make sure.
Okay.
That was not okay.
Nice. How many of those advantages you got left there, man?
2. I've only used.
Nice.
Yeah, there's the 2.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, for those of you that just joined us in the game, check out our Ko-Fi shop, man. There's all kinds of cool ways that you can interact with the game. You can buy these guys advantage and potions, all kinds of fun things, or buy them for the bad guys. Let's see. So, you go to make an attack. Though. There we go. It's back. Yeah, short lag. There we go. It's back up. But yeah, so as you go to take a strike at this thing, you rolled, what was it, 10? Yeah, you miss it, It tries to sting you, and it misses you, and then you see it turn and immediately go to bolt, but right as it does, it turns invisible again. Are you going to try and make another attack at it?
Yeah.
You can still make the attack, but you have to do so at disadvantage because it,
Well,
or you can blink. Oh wait, you have a way of seeing it.
blind sight.
You have a way of seeing it. You do not roll at disadvantage.
All right, so I'll roll with advantage.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you roll,
can-
still roll shit.
There we go. I hit the son of a bitch.
16 will hit it.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, I was. I'm gonna use my last. I'll use my last spell slot just to make sure, because I don't want this thing going off and getting anything out.
I'd say
enough.
it's an imp.
Well,
Yell of a fire!
you think 9 damage would kill it?
No.
So
It's up to you.
yeah,
if
that's
it's
an extra
nice.
2
Divine
with since
smite.
it's a fiend, so it's the 3, so that'd be 12.
So
I rolled
as
as
this
low-
thing turns and blinks out of existence to run, you take a swat where it was, and then as it reappears, you see 2 halves of it slap to the ground as you cut this thing directly in half with your longsword. There's 2 diagonal halves, almost like that of a sandwich, of imp now laying on the concrete ground out here in the courtyard.
I
Hell
grab both
yeah.
of them. I just, I grab it together, just take the entire corpse with me, and walk my way back downstairs.
Okay.
Yes. It's got to be
You
a spell
make your way
component for
back
something.
down. Right, surely.
Maybe we can mend
Um,
it and I can make another friend.
Meanwhile, back down in the room, Maxwell, you have cleaned this bloody whip and made it look nice again. There is still a bloody stool there you could have started working on if you really wanted to, sitting next to the bucket of salt in their torture room.
Look, if there's
but-
one thing I've learned in life, it's to never handle anyone's bloody stool.
yeah, don't handle their bloody stool. That's a good
Also,
point.
that you don't want to touch, but everything else that could kill you, you want to touch?
Yes.
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 Yes, that's the way it works. That's funny. But no, actually,
There
at this
also
point, you would.
tapestry in this room?
No,
right?
no.
There's
Yes, that's a
3
good question. Are there any
tapestries in this room.
tapestries?
There's 3 tapestries.
Hmm.
No, there's
I'm
no
gonna
tapestries in this room. Just blood streaks across the wall.
I'm just gonna make
But-
my way through that door. I'm gonna leave these weird.
I'll just say it at this point. You're going ahead on. Oh,
Wait,
that.
Are we
that's,
not waiting for the
that is
paladin?
some-
Yeah, because I'm still walking. I'm still
Um,
shimmening down.
I will say that is one thing else that she would have mentioned to you now that I think about it. If you took the time to ask her anything about what she heard, what she saw while she was down here, she would have mentioned to you that the only thing she remembers hearing after them killing the other individual was the sound of heavy stone grinding against stone. And she said she would hear it semi-often.
Hmm.
And this is about the time that you make it back down. Like, it only took you a minute to go up there, swat at this thing once,
Yeah.
and come back down. This is about the time you're rejoining the group.
I just look over. Anyone check the zombie room yet? Carrying this dead imp.
Yeah, he is
Why
definitely
you
holding
have
2
a-
halves of a dead imp.
Oh
you
yeah,
got
this
there?
thing. Oh, this thing was spying on us upstairs. I remember that note we found about someone's imp or whatever their name was.
You think this is the imp?
Yeah, I found the imp.
Impressive.
It's
What was it doing there?
better.
It was looking at me.
Well, nothing anymore.
Siriel, you growing up in Candlekeep have seen a lot of imps. Imps are not the most common, but you have definitely seen a lot of familiars, and some people are known to keep imps, closets, which are more demonic entities. It's kind of frowned upon for the most part, but it's been done. One thing that you would know for certain is that some of the wizards and arcanists that you had worked with also had familiars, and that they were able to use them as kind of like watchers and protectors over their belongings or books, things like that. And if needed, they could actually look through the eyes of their creature. So even though this one, of course, is dead now, it's a matter of
take the
whether or not
dagger.
somebody's looking at the moment. Like this
I
one's
take the
dead.
dagger that I got.
Can't do it
That's
now,
fine.
but
That's fine. I'm still taking its eyes out. Now you said it. I'm taking the thing's
Right.
eyes out with my dagger.
right.
What does
Just
its
pointing
teeth look like?
just pointing out that you would know that it's kind of a hit or miss. If somebody was
Yeah.
looking through its eyes, it may have seen something, but otherwise you're unsure.
Yeah.
I just know you've
So-
seen a lot of familiars,
Yeah.
from different wizards. So
So, two things. One, remove his eyes. Two, we might want to dump that thing as quick as we can and keep moving, because if it was a familiar by chance and somebody
Yep.
was watching, they know we're here and they're gonna come here. So we better get a
Exactly.
fucking move on.
Well,
Right.
hey,
One. Go ahead.
sorry. No, you go first.
Oh, I was gonna say, I look over to you actually, and Maxwell go, do you have any tools? Do you have those tools I can pry one of these things' teeth out?
Yeah, and I approach over and I say, "Wait, we thought this was a someone's familiar, maybe?"
Yeah,
More
potentially.
likely.
just saying if it was a familiar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it said
And it
potentially.
was that you've seen these be used as guards before, to guard things, and you know how familiars work. That either they just watch on their own, you know what I mean, or if the summoners. God damn it! Did I freeze again? Are you serious? Did I just freeze
No.
again?
No, you're good. No, you're good.
Oh, I just froze the camera. Sorry, that's what it is. The cameras were frozen. I saw you guys stop moving. But yeah, that's the answer. Is that if it was a familiar, they may have seen you through its eyes.
Would my character know the full details of the find familiar spell, or would he be able to try to recall them?
Do you have any interaction that would explain that? You know what I mean?
I mean, I
don't
built
know.
my own.
Oh yeah, you have your own familiar kind of
Yeah.
sense.
Thanks,
So yeah,
sort of thing.
right. It's something
Okay.
like that. Go and give me an Arcana check. I'll let you roll to
Okay.
see how well you do it. You can roll with
I was
advantage
gonna say, 'cause
since
I
you
have a piece of
have some
Yeah.
knowledge in it.
Because I have a piece of out of character knowledge, but I don't know if my character
Right.
would know it.
Right.
Well, unless you want
Yeah,
to
he
use
just looks
advantage.
at it and goes, "Huh." Thinks
You can-
about it even harder,
you-
almost
you
as
can
if he's
roll with
using
it.
advantage off of his sheet.
Yeah, let's say you can roll with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, 14. You would know the basics of the find familiar spell. You know what I mean? You've probably
All right.
dabbled with it a little bit in trying to figure out how to create your own animatronic version of that.
I hold up the imp, or both halves of the imp, and say, "This wasn't anybody's familiar.
Hmm.
Familiars disappear when they die. They're only spirits. They're not real things. This is an actual." I hold it and look at it for a moment, and then hold up it again. But this is an actual tiny hairy tail man.
Oh, well,
It's true.
I still want his tooth.
Oh
I
yeah,
still
sure.
don't wanna
And
take the risk.
I start prying the teeth out, and I say,
Oh yeah, they
well,
pop right out.
fact. Okay. As I pass in the teeth, I say, well, then that begs the question: if this isn't a familiar, how the heck did it get into the middle of the city?
Well, you can ask the same thing about the hellhound that we found about 8 doors down.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, but that was cultist. You said you found this above ground.
Well, remember the note that we found that there's someone's imp
Yeah,
was
didn't the
keeping
note
eye?
mention like
Hmm.
Could, even though it's not may not be actual familiar as in the find familiar spell, it could still definitely be somebody's pet essentially.
Yeah.
Wasn't it somebody called Trustwell or something that it said on the
Yeah,
note?
Trustwell, I think it was.
Thirstwell was the name.
Thirstwell. Well,
It said Thirstwell's imp has been keeping an eye out at night and has seen you coming and going. Stop bringing your after hours affairs to your place of business. Essentially, the idea was that the masseuse was getting busy here at night, and he got yelled at for it.
So
But just figured I'd let you know that. Yeah, and then like I
Once
said, whatever the woman told you on the way up through too.
once I pass the teeth over, I'm going to use mending to put this thing's body back together,
Nice.
and then
Hey.
I'm gonna stuff it in the bag along with the dead hellhound.
Nice. Do you I'm sure
Fair.
you make gentle care not to touch the stinger.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I generally see any stinger, and I'm like, I'm not touching that.
Yeah, it's got a big ass stinger on the back of these
Oh,
weird
so
things.
there are things that you don't touch.
But yeah, you guys
Yeah.
stuff it in the bag, and you have the rest of the dungeon. Sorry, didn't mean to get you on such a sidetrack there, but yeah, that's what you found along the way.
I'm skedaddling this way with my friends.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Guess we continue our way.
Yep, that's. I get back to my position at the front.
Right,
Imagine
where-
walking so close past those scally friends of mine.
He doesn't care.
I
Where
know.
do we go?
Max does.
I don't. I
He
made
wouldn't
friends.
mind taking the lead, get some space from those freaky bone things.
Hey, they're not freaky bone things. They're my friends.
They're also
We'll be
freaky
here, then.
bone things.
They're also
All right,
abominations of
Maxwell.
nature.
They're not abominations of nature.
Maxwell.
The dog
as,
is an abomination of nature.
as you are making your way
The
through
dog's a good
this
boy.
section of hallway, your passive investigation would kick in and help you to
Oh, boy.
spot that, I don't know how else to mark it, but right here in the wall is a secret door. You see a small ledge and mechanism that's, like a brick that's slightly out of place. And you realize that if you touch that brick, it would unlock this section between the two, and you could use this as a hallway.
Ooh,
Like there's a
guys,
hidden door
guys,
there.
guys!
Wow.
He starts getting all excited, jumping up and down. I found a secret door, and he points at the brick.
We should probably go the rest this way, then come back for that.
Fair point.
We don't
But-
want to go through a secret door and have something bum rush us from wherever we're about to head into.
Fine.
He has a point.
See if I can find
Face
somewhere
has
to
a
mark
point.
this.
I hate
There
to
we
say
go.
it, but our paladin has a point.
So I'm going to
this.
use prestidigitation to create a easily visible, slightly glowy symbol on the wall right next to it, pointing at the brick, just so that we can find it again when we come back.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
Trying to make that easier for you here while I'm at it too. There. It kind of works, right?
Nice.
It's not perfect, but we'll just stick that there to show that there is a way to get across there. But anyway, that works. Numo, as you've kept stepping forward and made your way up to the next intersection, you find a three-way intersection where there is three doors. Of course, one to the south and then two that are facing east. You could barely sense a light underneath of the door in this one.
I'm only really concerned about the one with light under it.
I'm gonna
So I
start
think I
real
should
close
go
to
in
them.
the other direction.
Since I know Numo is not a fan of my new friends, I'm gonna make sure I keep them close at all times next to him.
You sure you want to
Okay.
go first? I sort of, whisper
Um,
around as he makes his way before I follow.
I'm gonna like test each door, just make sure like the lock, like see if any of the handles turn, if there's any locks, kind of like take a look for traps.
Yeah, so what
I can,
you can tell for
but,
the
like-
best is that the doors do have latches and locks on all three of them. Stealthing up, taking a look, just checking each one of them. Is that kind of the idea? Is just testing each one to see if it's locked or not?
Yeah, basically just seeing if the knob will turn.
There we go. It should be coming back here momentarily. There we go. It's back. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I went in while it was down. I went in and reloaded the page. This way, hopefully, it'll stop doing it. But yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Roll20 lately. I think it has to do with Discord, but we'll talk about that after game and all that. But yeah, we are back for the moment, so we're good to go. But yeah, you would catch a small bit of light under this door as well, is what I was trying to say, Numo.
Okay. And then I kind of missed the part about like the lock states. Like, were they all open? Like, if
All
we
of
hold
them
enough
were
turn?
all of them were unlocked, so you could easily just open any one of these doors if you chose to.
I see 3 rooms and 3 skeletons. Was how about each one take a door and we just sit back and see what happens?
How about I'll just take one room with my Skelly boys, and you two take the other 2 rooms.
I'll take up here.
I'm going this way.
Okay. Dibs on this middle one then.
Yep.
Dibs on the middle one.
I just
All right, so Vanril, you're going through
I
the
just
top
stand here.
door, Seriel the
Yep.
south door, and Numo the easternmost door. Okay, so let me take a look at what I got here.
I wager most loot behind my door. So we're all going through all 3 of these at the same time.
Yes.
Is that okay? Cool.
Just for the sake of it, yes, we're going through all 3 of the door at the same fucking time.
Yeah, three separate doors. So if there is something behind each one, we're just drawing them all at once.
We're gonna have a party.
Mass pull. Let's
Room
see how it
26
goes.
then.
Mass pull.
We'll lean back to room 23. We'll set the defensive position.
Okay. Numo, are you just opening the door or stealthing in? Because you mentioned something about stealthing, but I want to be sure.
I would stealth inside my room.
Can you give me a stealth roll? Yeah, you'd made mention of it,
and
so
you're not
I'll
opening
actually
it up.
I'll actually ask to make sure. But yeah, if I could get a stealth roll from you to see how hidden you are. Oh man, you are killing it tonight. How
Gonna
the
use
fuck does a
advantage
rogue
for
roll an
that.
8 on stealth? On stealth of all things.
Let's do that again.
12.
Well,
Oh no.
slightly better.
Okay.
The floor is just covered
Yeah,
with
it
air
is.
horns.
Yeah. The floor is nothing but those squeaky horns that the clowns have, the that you're always talking about. The floor is
One of
just
those giant rubber ducks
littered
just
with
falls out of my
those.
pocket.
Okay,
Your
so
squeaky horn falls out and you step on it.
what you notice as you open your door, Numa, will do you first. As you open the door, you see that there's no light. There are several torches hanging on sconces on the walls. They have been extinguished. So there's no light in this room. And as you make your way in and eke the door open, it does creak loudly. And you would see that lying on the floor are currently what looks to be 4 bedrolls that have been laid out and put down on the floor in here, even one on top of the sarcophagus itself, and that there is a person laying in each one of those bedrolls. 2 of them begin to stir as the door creaks when you open it. Let's see. To the south, where Siriel had headed, 4 flickering torches hang in wall sconces illuminating this crypt, the middle of which is occupied by an open stone sarcophagus that bears no carvings or any sort of like ornamentation on it, but it is absolutely piled full of humanoid skulls and bones. And there are 6 bedrolls lying in the floor of this area, but they seem to be empty at the moment.
If I yell rise and be counted, does that work?
Vanroll, real quick, while we're dealing with you as well. As you open your door, you catch a more interesting sight. 4 flickering torches are in wall sconces that light this partially collapsed crypt. Let's see. As you open the door, though, an open sarcophagus also lies in the middle of this area, filled to the rim with blood. Spill streaks of blood roll down the side of the sarcophagus and pool around its base. The sarcophagus lid lies half buried under rubble behind this sarcophagus. So, like, the back half of the room has been, kind of fucked up and fallen in. But the sarcophagus lid has been shoved to the back, and this pool has been absolutely filled to the brim with blood. Inside the room, you see an older woman. She appears to be, maybe 50s, somewhere in that area. Not like, super grandma older, but just older. There's an older woman in the back of the room. She is completely drenched in blood, head to toe, and she is currently huddled down on the floor, just kind of holding herself, looking frightened.
Don't touch her. Don't touch
See.
her.
It's a trap.
But that's what all
think
three of
step
you
in.
guys see. Numo, as you hear them stir, you do see that a couple of them are starting to wake up. What do you do on your end?
Would I see anything in the room object-wise?
There's a stone sarcophagus in the middle of the room, and there's a person sleeping on top of it. But as far as that goes, you would see that they have flails. Several of them have daggers and swords that have been hung up or leaned against a wall. You see a couple of backpacks in here. Looks like maybe it belongs to them. Like they've brought stuff. You know what I mean? But for the most part, they're bedrolls. They're not actual like cots or mats that have been laid out. So it's just whatever they had on their person plus anything they may have been carrying backpack-wise or something.
I think I'm
I
gonna
think
say
somebody's
hi
got a
to him.
TV running in the background. Sorry, guys. I don't know who it is, but I hear like a news report or
Oh,
something,
sorry.
maybe. I don't know what that is. I just figured I'd mention it. No worries.
I didn't notice I was doing it. One moment.
Yeah, that's okay. No
I was
worries.
trying to catch the news.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Nemo.
think
What were
I'm
you saying?
gonna whisper quietly to him and be like, "Hey guys, what's happening?"
What's happening? So you're trying to play as one of them, I guess, is the idea? Or just like, hey, what's up, bros?
I'm like keeping a dagger ready behind my back, but I just kind of want to see if they're gonna say something or if it's gonna be
Absolutely.
initiative.
The two that wake up out of the four, one of them turns and looks at you, and he's kind of like holding his eyes a little bit as the light seeps in from outside the room, where the hallway was lit. You see him kind of cover his eyes. You see him squinting, trying to get a better look at you, and he's like, "What? Is something happening? Are we needed? What's going on?"
Yeah, it's you're needed back at the bathhouse.
If you could give me a, let's see, this would be,
Deception.
yeah, sorry, deception with disadvantage because like they're at the bathhouse, I
fair.
guess. Yeah, they don't know your voice. All of these things.
You look like a midget clown.
Yeah, you look like a
Very
small clown. Yeah, you're dressed as a clown.
Extremely fair.
They just think they're like in some weird nightmare.
I thought my horoscope was being metaphorical.
I had such a strange dream last night. It's my favorite way. Whenever a character dies in the strangest way, that's always my favorite way to put it. I always knew that gypsy lady was right. The old woman was right. Yeah, it's exactly how
Oddly
I
specific.
die.
Gypsy
I
woman
thought she was a
foretold.
bit specific. Yeah.
Stabbed to death in a crypt by a midget clown.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about to happen, I
Um,
think. I got an 8.
But let's see. Yeah, we got an 8. Okay, so the guy says, "Wait, who the hell? Oh shit!" And he realizes, "Guys, there's a clown in here!" And you see him yell out to the rest of them.
Shield up.
who immediately start gathering their shit. We'll deal with that momentarily. Vanril, you have stepped into this room and took a step towards the blood-soaked woman. What
Yeah.
are you doing on your side?
just
She
sort
is
of-
huddled up in the corner, and she looks frightened when you kind of enter the room.
Kill it with
I
fire.
just sort I put an empty palm out, just like, not here to harm you.
Oh,
Just like calmly,
thank
like
you. Are they gone? They
not yet. Just
keep
this is
making
sort of like-
me bathe in the blood.
just puts a finger up to his mouth, like, not just yet. Just be calm a moment. We're figuring things out.
Oh shit! There's a clown in here.
And that's what I mean by we're figuring things out.
That's
We're figuring things out very poorly.
She does take your hand and start to step up. Like she looks scared, and then hearing the shout makes her even a little bit more concerned.
I just tell, get in cover. We'll be back in here soon. I think I have to deal with some things.
Oh, oh, oh no.
You'll be
Sariel,
okay.
what were you working on? You were saying the words "rise and be counted" into the room, right? You're in the room like "rise and be counted, rise and be counted." Nothing seems to be happening.
And all I think at that moment is like, thank God it's not a trap.
Yeah, you stop, you take a look to the left and right, and your skeletons are just chilling there next to you, you know what I mean? Like one of them nods, gives you a sup. And then you would also hear the, oh shit, there's a clown in here, from the other room. And I guess let's roll initiative. Give me a second to pull this up. Actually, you know what? We're at 12:25. I think that is where we're cut the scene. Is actually,
Okay.
because I just realized it's
Oh,
12:20.
shit.
Yeah, that's where it ends, is with all three of you simultaneously hearing the, oh shit, there's a fucking clown in here. That's where we'll end tonight's session.
We're short.
Yeah.
I would like to note that woman has no idea that the clown is the one on our side.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, the clown is the good guy. She's like, oh no, a clown. I've always had a fear. That's
Being
right.
Killed in a dark crypt by a clown.
But yeah.
Imagine.
I'm blown away by it, but this dungeon has taken us 4 sessions. Well, this is 3rd session in here.
Yeah.
We'll definitely finish it next session.
Definitely next
no
session.
question.
Yeah.
No question. We'll finish this dungeon next session. So that's cool. But either way, I think that's a great place to end tonight's stream. I think we did real good with it. I'd love to play another 4 hours. Don't get me wrong. I could do this for 12 hours a day, man. It's a great game. But yeah, that's where we're gonna go ahead and leave it off, folks. If you just came in towards the end, I know we had a raid there about at 11:30. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. If you stuck around with us, I really appreciate everybody that came out to the stream. All you guys that hit the Ko-Fi page, and if you haven't already, still head over there and check that out. Even if you purchase things on there when we're not streaming, they just get added to the next one. I keep a running total of all that stuff. It does notify me. Nothing gets missed as far as that goes. Also, keep in mind that the Ko-Fi page is a great way to donate to support the stream, because it doesn't charge any sort of fee when you do a straight cash donation through there. So it's a great way to help support the stream. That's what keeps the lights on around here. That's what keeps everything moving. So it's entirely thanks to you guys that keep us going. We couldn't afford to be able to do this every week if it wasn't for you guys, because I'd have to get a day job, and then I can't be here, and you know how that goes. So anywho, I do want to say thank you to everybody that came out and all that good stuff. And let's run through our players real quick. Alejandro. Oh shit! There's a clown in here.
Words that we will remember always.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
New T-shirt.
Yeah, right?
What thoughts cross your mind when you hear these words? You know what I mean?
Nemo's got into some kind of trouble again.
It's always Numo, isn't
Again.
it? That's it.
Just the again part of it.
But if you want to go ahead and give any goodbyes or anything like that, feel free. I'm gonna go ahead and make my way around through the loop.
Thanks for everybody for watching. It was great working with you guys. Great playing with you guys.
Always,
Have a
man.
good night, everyone.
I look forward to this every day other than Friday, and most of Friday. I look forward to this. Nice, Maxwell. If you want to go ahead and do your solo or Cias, whatever you want to call it.
They continue to contribute. Maxwell continues to touch.
Yeah, I will keep
Mhm.
putting out big shiny red buttons every chance I get. I love that first room. That one was the best. Just 20 minutes of like, do we just keep poking it? I don't know.
All right.
I love it.
Also, new plan. We're gonna lead all of these guys we just found all the way down the hallway, and we're gonna trick them into that room, and they can deal with the flying axe.
Just shove all the bad people into that room. That's the way to do it. I like it. That they deal with that, so you guys can go touch the sarcophagus and go check it out.
Yeah. Well, we go in there, grab the corpse, and see if it's connected to the corpse, and just chuck the corpse at him.
Right. That's exactly it, man. Yeah. See if you can wield it like a weapon. See better.
You know, and then y'all say something about me having my friends.
Right.
We didn't bring it to
Works.
life. That's the change.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
animated
distinction.
itself. Either way, let's see. Sariel, if you want to go ahead and do yours, I'll leave Numo and Vanril to the two last because I know you got a little more to promo or whatever.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. It's really appreciated. Thanks for all the advantages and everything you guys throw away.
Yeah, you
And
guys
as always,
needed
like,
them.
I mean, they needed them. I'm just hoarding them at this point.
Yeah.
But with that said, I can't wait to see how this is gonna end next week with everybody just kind of touching things left and right.
Yeah, yeah, that's the fun of it. Is you guys have collected some friends and some curses. You got all the fun stuff to go into the,
Look, man,
you know,
curiosity killed
whatever
the
ends
cat.
this. that's it.
Satisfaction brought it back to life.
I don't think that's gonna work for you. Just throwing that out there now. I don't think that's how this is gonna go. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure satisfaction is it's not gonna make it any better. You know. Anyway, let's see. Vanril, if you want to do yours first, I guess then we'll go around the circle, and you can
All right.
promote your stuff.
Sounds good. Howdy there, Vanril. I stream occasionally, starting a bit more over on Kick instead of over here on Twitch. Over at the Jackal. I could throw it in there if you'd like.
I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
You guys have the ability to do that now. 'Cause
Okay.
I never have all the links in front of me, so I
Yeah.
thought it was easier.
No, I got it.
Actually, there, I'm attempting to also throw some things over on the YouTube. Same spelling, same everything for both YouTube and on Kick. But yeah, no, I've been really enjoying this game here. I look forward to it every week. And definitely was an interesting one today.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it was a rough one. Yeah, I'll say as far as that goes, go check out the Jackal over on Kick. I know last night we played a little bit of games together. We kind of co-did it. Him on his side, mine on mine. It was pretty good. I enjoyed that game. Phasma, what we do? Phasma and Demonologist. It was cool shit. Check him out.
Both of those.
Yeah, very good stuff. And Numo, if you want to check yours out, I'll go ahead and put in a shout out for you as well. If you want to go ahead and give your spiel.
Yeah, numerousness. Had a good session here. Definitely appreciate the advantages I got so far. Have a hunch that I might be burning through those pretty quick next session.
Yeah, you might
But
need
yeah,
those.
had a good time. I'm on this stream for the vampire game as well, and a few other nights. So follow this channel for sure. But if you also want to see more of me, I'm on my stream, just on Twitch, numerousness, and I play games like 2 days a week, Thursdays and Saturdays. And did you want to do Baldur's Gate on Saturday, tomorrow?
Oh, I definitely want to do some Baldur's Gate this weekend. It does sound good. I've been
We
enjoying it.
really need to
Your
find a
damn news
salami
is
run.
playing again. It's the news. But yeah, I'm down for playing some Baldur's
damn
Gate
it.
tomorrow. Yeah, but yes, for sure. You're here. I know you're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Like you're here most of the nights of the week, but definitely Thursdays and Saturdays. Go check out Numerousness. on Twitch. I will say Thursdays he's usually doing something. I know the last couple of Saturdays we been doing a little Baldur's Gate, but it's been a good time, man. Definitely check it out. Make sure to drop in and check it out. Yeah, I think that's it. I got everybody. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys there. I appreciate you guys for coming to the stream and all that good stuff. Like I said, if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Like, subscriptions go so far the way, and you know, who wants to watch ads anyway, for one, and two, you got that Prime sub laying around, why not, you know, give it to somebody that could use it. Help us keep the lights on, keep these streams rolling, all that good stuff. If you got the $5 to spare, throw it at a sub. There are higher tier subs too. You got tier 2, tier 3 subs. You know, there's not really any extra special perks, but it is always greatly appreciated when you guys do that. It really does help us get through the month and keep things going here, those donations and subscriptions. But I'm gonna let you guys go there. I can't wait to see this out, how this pans out next week. And in case y'all need a reminder, come back and check us on Monday, where we'll do our table talk and we'll discuss what happened during the game and all those fun things as well. So we'll see you on that one. Catch you guys later.
See you Monday.
Oh shit! There's a cloud in here!